Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? This is the Chris and David podcast. We got Chris here and Big Dave.
What's up, fellas? We're here on another episode of the Chris and David podcast. We have a special guest today, Marcos Castañeda, aka that's my cousin. Throwing that out
What's
there.
up, Marco?
What's up, man? Thanks for
Hi.
having me on.
No problem, man. How you doing today?
Doing good, man.
You
Doing good. Yeah.
What brings you into town?
It's my pop's birthday today, so
wow.
yeah, so we're just fucking barbecuing and fucking drinking, you know, just telling stories.
Happy birthday to your dad.
Happy
Yep.
birthday to Martin.
Yep.
He's my cousin. That's funny though.
Bro, like, like our lines are like
Fucked
little-
up.
further off, man. It's like,
They're-
How so? Let's
Well-
describe how are they off.
well, it's like well, let's just say, let's start with Cardo's family, because his family is a little bit closer to mine.
Okay.
But my dad is first cousins with fuck.
You want me to break it down for you?
Yeah.
Big Dave is gonna break it down. Oh shit! Big Dave is breaking it down.
So, his dad is Cardo's nephew.
Yeah.
His dad. is
So
Carlos' nephew.
his grandma is Cardo's dad's sister.
Oh, okay.
And the way we are related is that his grandma is my dad's cousin.
Okay.
So technically his dad would be my cousin.
That brings us along perfectly to our first question. So since we kind of described the lineage of how you guys are related, and it is a little bit not like first cousins or anything like that.
Well, I think Mexicans
How did you
celebrate-
guys start hanging out? Was it back in the rancho? Where was it that you guys actually, got close and started hanging out?
I think family parties for sure, and definitely like at the lecheria, like
Yep.
playing
The lecheria.
soccer. Like soccer on Sundays was a big thing.
That's definitely. I used to hate it sometimes.
Who would organize these soccer on Sunday events?
I have
No idea, but
Everybody would go to this fucking campo and they're
Yeah.
just playing soccer, and it's
Was it more so to do with the parents? Were they chilling and stuff? What were the parents doing at this time?
the
Did your
parents.
kids
No,
just
it
had
was
to
the
get
parents
together?
playing. The parents were like,
Oh, for
they're-
real?
Yeah, they were young at that time.
yeah,
Oh,
dude, they
okay.
were like our age, I think.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Well, yeah, they were like in their 30s, but like,
Yeah, that's still
Or-
young. We're-
maybe even younger than that, dude.
oh yeah.
Fuck you, dude. I didn't catch that till right now. Fuck it, dirty 30.
Yeah.
I'm the first one to hit the 30 mark. It kind of sucks. But
Wait,
from
okay, so break it down. So you guys were playing soccer. Oh shit, soccer.
Yeah,
our
yeah.
parents would play soccer.
Yeah, and it would be like pretty much everybody that lived in that area, and then they'd invite people. But it's like, it's weird because that's like also how we met other people. Like, fucking, that's how we met Vic. Like,
Really?
Yeah, because Pepe was playing soccer at that time.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
he was
Organized
out
soccer
there.
and stuff.
Yeah, like we.
Damn, he must have been playing for a long time.
Yeah, I think I started at 7. I think he started at 6,
Wow.
and like playing like the house leagues. But you know, people just invite people, and then they have games.
Yeah.
What
That's
I
how the
remember
crews get
about
together
those
and everything.
games-
What do you remember about those games, David?
What I remember is, we would always try to play, and our dads would be like, "Yeah, next year when you turn 12." Okay, we turn 12. The following year, no, wait until you're 13. So they keep raising the fucking age. You remember that shit?
Yup.
Yeah.
But my earliest memories with Marcos and Miguel was actually at the rancho. I think our parents would take my dad used to take us to his house because we were all in the same age, so I was to play. But I remember you had a football, like a treasure
football?
chest football chest, but you
Oh,
had
yeah.
toys in it.
Yeah.
And I remember we used to play. And it's a fairly memory that I can remember. But I was explaining that to your brother, and he goes, "God damn, you got a good memory." I
Did
was
you
like,
have a
Yeah.
favorite toy in his chest?
No, I did not.
You didn't have it. Okay.
But I remember we would always
That's
wrestle
crazy.
too.
How
even back
old?
then.
How old were you when you had this chest that David's fucking memory is that good that he's remembering your fucking toy chest, dude?
I don't fucking know, but I remember it was like this chest we had in the closet and just fuckload of toys in there.
Yeah,
Damn.
I think I was like 6 or 5, dude.
This motherfucker.
I just remember one time I was by the window. Actually just like got a little flashback. Sorry, but it's just I just remember that like those are like my first memories of you guys.
Yeah.
Of his toy chest?
And Miguel too, and Marcos too. So it was cool.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys were playing soccer. and then you guys got older. And did you guys continue to hang on and hang out in your youth? Was it just something that happened naturally, or did you guys reconnect later on in high school, like around the time when you got to kind of know me?
I think family stuff we'd always go, but however often that happened, you know, like
twice,
whatever.
3 times a year,
Yeah.
maybe, you know, something like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we wouldn't really
Okay.
like kick it. It wasn't until I think high school
Yeah.
High school.
Skateboarding actually was a
Oh,
big
yeah.
part of it.
with Miguel.
Skateboarding.
Skateboarding, like legit
Yeah.
skateboarding, brought me and Marcos and Miguel and my brothers closer. Just because, from what I remember, Miguel showed and you Miguel, Marco, Miguel, and Cardo showed up to my brother's to the house one time to go skate.
Cardo skating.
No, he was riding BMX. I don't think I pictured him
He was
skateboarding.
doing pegs
Yeah.
and stuff. Or?
I don't know. Marco's the savage on the board.
Yeah.
I had one
That's
trick, the
good.
Casper flip. That's about it.
That's a fucking hard trick, dude.
That was the only thing. Like
I can't
I could
do
never
shit.
do a tray
Mhm.
flip. I could never do anything. I could do like you know, the basics: kick flip, fucking heel flip. Fucking nothing super
Can
complicated.
in that time could you tell that just David and Miguel had like a different type of passion for it at that time? You
Yeah.
were like, these fuckers are out here just committing, crashing, hitting the ground and shit. And fuck all that.
Like I was doing it kind of like
Yeah.
whatever. I thought it was fun, but I didn't go deep. Like Miguel would go. They would be gone all day, like, and they just
Damn.
fucking go skate like at a park on the other side of town, and then just to hit some stairs. And I was like, fuck that. That's when I got scared. I'm like, I'm not trying to like ollie off of a stair.
You know
like, set
what
Stairs.
brings me up to this memory, Marcos? I don't know if you remember. Remember, it was me, you, Cujo, Kenneth, and we were on Northgate and Kmart, and Cujo was mad at this fool.
Cucho.
Cujo?
Cujo, his cousin.
Okay.
So he spits on this fool's back.
Who the fuck? What the
Yeah, you don't remember that? On your back.
What the
Or some shit. Yeah, so I remember, like, I even told Marcos, hey, this fool spat on you. And all you hear Marco Tron, Cujo, did you fucking spat on me? Bro, ask Ken, yeah, like, said spat. Dude, he was, I think you were pissed. I remember this. I'll bring it up to Kenneth. Kenneth always brings that up, bro. We're on Northgate.
Did I whoop his ass or not?
I think you fucking wanted to kill that fool. You were
Yeah.
pissed off at that fool. I'm pretty sure you did want to fuck him up.
Yeah. Fuck. Me and Cucho, like, we're like all kind of like allies for most of the time. Like, we're in like good terms, but like sometimes that fool just we'd piss
You
each
cross
other
the
off.
line and shit? Is
We'd-
that what it
we'd-
was?
Yeah, he's like a brother to me, you know. So it's like he's we
made him
fight a
cry.
lot.
I made him cry.
You made him cry?
Yeah.
What'd you do to make him cry?
Oh, what did? I don't remember.
Oh, I said, I don't even think that's your real dad. I was just playing around. I was just fucking around for as a joke. Like, yeah. And then it turned out to be it wasn't. I was like, and he just started just tearing up and ran off. And I was like, oh, shit,
Damn.
dude. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
No, bro. My memory sucks, dude.
Dude,
That
dude.
sounds hilarious, though. Just to tell some kid, yeah, it's not your fucking dad. And later
Dude,
on,
I was
find
just
out that
fucking
it's-
around, dude. Like, I was such a prick. I felt so. Was that? I heard it was true though. That's when he started crying or some shit like
Yeah.
that. It's hard to get personal. I just remember it, and he just started tearing up and then ran off.
That is hilarious.
Fucking dick.
You went to go calm him down or something. I was like, I felt bad after that, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know. I was just fucking around, dude. Like, got my piece of medicine. Like,
So in high school, what kind of guy got us like, or you guys had more hanging out at that time? Did you guys start hanging out before I came in the picture? Because of I assume because of skateboarding, right? So you
Yeah.
guys started hanging out. So what did you guys do at that time to like reconnect? Was it like at a family party and then you guys all of a sudden just were all skating and you guys were like, what the
Well-
fuck, you skate too? And you're like, bro.
I think it had to do with skating because I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember, David. I'm sure you fucking do.
Mhm.
But one time, like, we just came, and it was like before we started drinking too. But like, we
Mhm.
just came over, and we're hanging out at your. I don't think it was this house. I think you were like somewhere else, maybe, or was it always this house?
it was this house. I remember. I think, and it was actually before. I think I was going to be a sophomore,
Mhm.
and I think your brother picked up a skateboard. If you could remind my, were we in the garage doing tricks?
Yeah, there was like a rail, like a blue rail or something
Yeah.
that like I think Adrian might have been like, grinding, whatever.
Oh, yeah, we were actually skateboarding. You guys spent the night or something.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
My fucking brother threw a skateboard at me, right?
Dude, that's what I was.
What
gonna
the
say.
fuck?
Because, like,
Explain that one.
No, it's like because that particular like hangout that we did was like because me and Miguel we grew up fighting like crazy, like cats and dogs, right? And then that was like the first time like we spent all day with David and Hector, and I think Adrian was there too.
Yeah,
right?
Adrian was there too.
And then like the amount that you guys fought together, I was like, holy shit! Literally, Heck hit you with a fucking skateboard.
He fucking threw a skateboard, hit the truck on my fucking ankle, dude. I was so pissed, and I
Yeah.
beat the shit out of him. That's before he started lifting, but he was hella small. But
Yeah, he was shorter back then.
he was such a little asshole about it. And that's what I was trying to refer. I wasn't calling him. He was just that little annoying kid at the time. He was only like I think 12, dude. I was 13.
That dude would- Yeah, that dude like, it's pretty ballsy if you throw a skateboard at someone.
I
Yeah.
guess so, but that shit hurt.
Yeah,
That shit hurt.
Yeah,
You were
but-
shocked too. You're like, what the fuck?
yeah, cause like I'm like okay, like me and Miguel we fight all the time, but like we don't hit each other in the face, and like we don't use weapons, and like you guys are over here fucking. I don't know if you hit him in the face or not, but I was like, God damn, you guys.
There's some things
guys
I
going
feel
at it.
I feel bad doing to that fool. I remember I kneed that fool straight in the jaw, bro.
Yeah.
Just, dude.
Your brother?
Yeah, Hector. He was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
And he remembers it. And I remember. I
He took
do.
the heart after that. And he's
I
like, "Whoa."
won't. Yeah, I mean, I totally understand why he has hella anger. I just beat the shit out of that fool. But I'm a big brother,
Yeah.
so I mean, I was immature. So I mean, now that I think about it, and I could have fucking really killed that fool. Or some seriously hurt him actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool. But
But yeah, so it's like we started kind of hanging out from, I guess, skateboarding. But like I remember we went to some school, and there was like a ledge. I think it was like six steps, and everybody's fucking trying to do a trick off of it. I was like trying to do like an easier one, like trying to ollie off it. But then Hector, he fucking does like a kickflip and lands it right, and it's
Yeah.
like this is super short and like very young, and it's like this fool's the only one that was able to do it.
His little legs give it an advantage.
he actually frontside flip off the McParland little stage. There's like a little 5-stair.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
And
yeah.
it was on Kenneth's MySpace profile for hell long, and all you hear him do, it was a clean ass frontside flip. Actually, I was pretty impressed. I think it was like over a bench. too.
What is okay? So you guys that have also like been a person that's been able to be on a skateboard and land a trick, but then you're also being able to see your friend land a trick, or so your brother in your instance. What is that feeling like? Like, oh shit! Like they just landed some fucking clean. Like, what is that feeling like?
Well, I guess it's just kind of like, oh damn.
You're actually kind of juiced as they are, and probably they're
Yeah.
more excited than you are because
Mm.
you know
How hard it is
especially
to
how
do,
hard it is and how many tries.
to do that.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing Mac fucking frontside flip the 5-stair hell long, snapping, and I remember he snapped in here like a 2-day. But I remember you doing a heel flip. I remember you seeing you trying off the stage and shit. I think you fucked up your ankle or something, didn't you?
Probably. I fucked up my ankle a lot back then. It's like, what's it called? had it like broken twice.
I think if I remember why we started hanging out was right after I graduated. And you were still
Right after you graduated.
yeah. When
Oh,
we
yeah?
started drinking, when Carter started buying alcohol.
So how? So that's not even that much long, right? Or like long before I had came into the picture at this
Dude,
point.
Yeah.
Like
Did you
from
steal
what
their-
you guys are describing, if you were already out of high school, I was out of high school, and I feel like even during high school, me and Ricardo were out drinking, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure.
I just remember.
Yeah, because he was 17 at the time. He was saying when he would go out to the bars,
Yeah.
because he was using Paquito's ID and everything. So damn, how much later on was it that I came into the picture?
Dude,
and
what
what was
I-
your first memory of me?
What I recall, probably
Mhm.
the first memory of you. Let's see. I want to say it was your guys' graduation, because I
Our
remember you
graduation.
guys.
We went to a
all
couple
had
graduations.
hair. No, you guys were graduating. You guys. Had
Okay, our
long
graduation.
hair, what's it called? You guys looked very similar.
Yeah.
And then, we went
Very
to
Yeah.
and then we're fucking just drinking there for like 4 days in a row. And then we're just playing beer pong and all that stuff. And I think
Yeah.
that's kind of like when,
The introduction.
well,
to
when
it.
I first met you, and then we're like, okay, and that became the thing.
Yeah.
What was
I haven't
your-
stopped after that? Damn.
What was your opinion about when you met Chris? Like,
Mhm.
you were like,
You could be honest.
you could be honest.
Everyone's very honest
You
with
could be
how
like,
much of an
"Mm."
asshole I was.
Yeah.
I'm even acknowledging how much of an asshole I
see,
was at one
the
point.
thing is, it's like, okay, so when I don't know when the whole asshole part came, but I remember whenever we were hanging out, like, oh, it was cool, we are just fucking kicking it,
Yeah.
you know, no big deal. But then like when I went to Fresno State,
Mhm.
and then I'd only come like back every few months or something.
Yeah.
And then we're like, what the fuck? I remember being like, wait, what changed? Like, you know,
Mhm.
because I don't know, like, you were just like a funny dude. You clowned people a lot, but that's funny. That's cool. Like
Mhm.
everybody clowned everybody, you know.
But
Some
I
people-
acknowledge,
some people more than others, obviously. But
and I acknowledge that back in the day, I did try to take it too far. Like that's kind of what I like. At that time, I was definitely trying to do anything to get a laugh,
Mhm.
and I wasn't considerate of other people's feelings at that time, so it didn't mean it, like if it meant hurting one person to get one laugh, it didn't really, like I didn't really think about that part, like of the other person's feelings and everything, and that was my main thing, is just wanting to pretty much try to get people to laugh, but I just didn't do it considerately.
maybe it's like you
tough
break
to
it
do.
up, like,
Mm-hmm.
because there's always like a group, and there's always like someone that gets clowned on a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's like, from I guess like you guys would clown on David a lot, and then
Mhm.
it's like we would clown on our own people. You know, it's like either, unfortunately, Alejandro or like or Jay or something. But
Yeah.
you'd always kind of like, and it's kind of fucked up, but that's just how.
How it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's just how-
in guy groups and
Yeah.
dynamic.
That's
like,
how life is, actually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but then like that's how you get tougher skin too.
exactly. Oh, I got tough skin. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
like how you were saying about David being the one. Like, yeah, a lot of the friends didn't like the things that I was saying about David at that time. And, you did say, David, that a lot of people had brought it to like your attention and everything. But did you at that time feel that it was across the line, or did it take for other people to be like, why are you letting this dude do that? For you to like
I
to
wanna,
think about it, like
I
because
think
if
it's
no one had said anything, would it have bothered you? Continue to bother
Well,
you?
there was a point where I was like, God damn, I don't know if this guy really likes me. Before they brought it up,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, this, like fuck yeah, I'm an asshole too, but I was a dick, but I wasn't like, I probably deserved this shit. I was probably like karma. Because I used to be when I was skateboarding, I was such an asshole to people that were garbage at skateboarding. Like,
Yeah.
I was the type, I wouldn't fuck with you. Like, if you were garbage,
Mhm.
nah, like. And I feel like I got the script, but I got it. I felt like fuck. I've really got karma. That's how I think about it. And then I didn't really notice it until I was like, fuck.
I don't feel like I was specifically picking on you at that time. Like,
But I
felt
really
like
wa-
I was going at everybody. I felt like I didn't really like. I don't know. Maybe people noticed it more. Maybe like you were saying,
Well,
Marco. Like there is.
you know what the
that
thing was?
attacked a little bit more in the group.
A lot of it,
Maybe
like,
there was like. I guess it did go that way, but I didn't notice it at the time. I might have felt that I was making fun of like everybody equally. And,
yeah.
you feel
I don't
me?
know. I just felt like me because I would always hang out with you,
Yeah.
and I felt like, oh,
Maybe
this was.
that's what it is. Like
Yeah, that's what
we
it
hang
was.
out so
Much, yeah.
That it
I'm-
was just.
And I just wanted you to like me that much. I thought you were
I
hilarious.
loved you guys.
Yeah.
I
So.
wouldn't have fucking hung around with you guys
Yeah,
if I didn't love you guys.
yeah. So that's why for me, I was like, oh fuck, if I like, I'll accept the torture,
Yeah.
like, and maybe he might like, like,
But
cool.
I do appreciate the growth that happened during that time. As you say, Marco, you were away during that time and everything. But me and David did have a conversation about people not liking the way that I was treating them, and I feel like from that day forward, it was a very big change in me personally, and yeah. So enough about being David. Yeah, like you said, you were at Fresno State at this time. So what is going on at Fresno State at this time? Like, did you apply for other colleges? So let's go to high school. So we were drinking, we were buddies and everything. Then you graduate, and did you apply at other colleges, or
What made
was
you
it
pick
just Fresno?
Fresno?
So I applied to Fullerton,
Mhm.
SAC, UOP, and
You kind of wanted to stay local.
I
and
kind of,
then-
part of me wanted to do it, but then I didn't get into UOP. I think I got waitlisted, so I was like, "Fuck, that's not really like a for sure thing. I'm not gonna put all my eggs
In one
into this
basket.
basket, and then this shit don't go through." And then I was like, "Fuck it," I didn't want to go to Sac State, cause like, I don't know. I was like, I'll just try. Like it's too close. It's an hour away.
Yeah.
I'm like, Fresno's
felt
2.5
like you had been-
hour away.
You feel
so
like
I was
you'd have been making that trip every weekend kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it.
So it's like I want to be a little bit further away. And Fullerton,
I would have loved if you would have went to Sac State, dude. Me and David would have been out there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we were there a lot
No,
when
it's
Julio went.
okay, so then you applied, and then you went to
yeah. I got into every CSU, but I didn't apply to the UCs.
Milburn,
But I
no,
just
Irvine,
applied to the
something.
CSUs, and
Mhm.
I wanted to go to Fullerton because of wrestling, because they still had it. But for some reason, I think they dropped the program or something. I can't remember what happened, or maybe I just didn't. Like, even if I went, I
And-
probably wouldn't have like started or anything. There's beasts. That
Yeah,
fucking,
they had a very
yeah.
good wrestling program from what I remember.
Mhm.
Why don't they have a wrestling team?
I think, or was it? Yeah, maybe they
I think they still do, don't they?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
you know what?
And
Maybe
a lot of good MMA fighters came out from that.
I
fucking
remember.
shit.
I don't know shit about wrestling that much, dude.
Yeah.
And I know Fullerton to be like a good.
Yeah,
wrestling
Fullerton's
school.
one of the ones that still has a
But,
school. Or
yeah.
but you know what? I think I got it mixed up.
Mhm.
I applied to Bakersfield because Bakersfield at that time, I think they had a team, but then when it was time for like to select,
Yeah.
they dropped their team. So like shit. So then I'm like, all right, well Fresno it is.
Did Fresno have a wrestling team?
No, they had a club, but that was like my senior year there.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't ever.
So you never pursued it after college? Oh,
So
okay.
since we're talking about wrestling, wrestling was a big part of like your youth. Did you start getting into it during high school once you seen that there was an actual team that you were able to be a part of? Did it
Yeah.
intrigue you prior to being in high school or?
Yeah, I've always liked wrestling around like roughhousing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I was really into like the WWE when I was like
Mhm.
12 and like in 7th and 8th grade
Mhm.
until Eddie Guerrero died, and then that
Crushed
just
your
fucking
dreams.
stopped my fire. And then but then like once I went into high school, I'm like, all right, I fucked up my leg. I had a broken ankle, so I couldn't play soccer. And then I was like, okay, once I healed up, I'm like, well, I fucking suck at basketball, and I was like, let's just do wrestling, and then just it was like all natural.
Out of any of our friends, did you meet him during like wrestling? Was it like Jason that you met during this time? Was it Parsa?
Yeah, Jason Parsa, and like the reason why like I met Jay
Yeah.
was from wrestling, because I met Jason. I met Jason, and Jay were friends for like ever.
Mhm.
And then Alejandro I met from soccer. So it's like it's just weird, like we see each other, and then it's like, okay, like I don't know why, but like it kind of click, like we're gonna be homies. Yeah.
Just like
It's similar
perfect.
interests. Like when when
Yeah.
we're young and stuff like
Yeah.
that, we kind of just like I don't know, man. Like, would you
just
say
draw each
would you
other.
say we pick our friends or like our friends pick us?
I'll tell you what, if
Yeah.
you put a bunch of random people
Yeah.
in like a room,
Yeah.
you're gonna gravitate towards certain type of people,
Uh-huh.
and I think that's what happened.
And
Law of
that's what it
attraction.
is,
Yeah, exactly.
Law of
okay.
attraction.
You're like, you know what, man, this motherfucker kind of reminds me of like my work ethic and stuff too. So I was
Mhm.
like, okay, we're gonna just be.
What the fuck attracted?
You know what's crazy though? Like
us?
a lot of my best friends, good friends, are really my family members. Marcos, Miguel, Cardo. I met all you guys. Well, I mean, no, Chris was like, I met him through school, obviously, but all the friends I met him through you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I met Martin, Martin Ponch, everybody like through Alejandro, through you guys. So it's
Yeah.
like it's crazy. Like it's just like a lot of my friends are just family. It's,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm. It's just crazy my connection to everyone and stuff. Like, well, my connection to like David at the beginning of like meeting him in 7th grade and not knowing much about him aside from us playing like basketball together, like
Mm.
being the only Mexican guys at that point, to like high school years to where I'm meeting Ricardo, and me and Ricardo start to begin to get really close and begin to do homework at well, I do homework at his house, and he starts to invite me in at that point, and and starts to bring me along to all of his family, and then from that point, I feel like from there on is when I made most of my like lifelong friends, you could say. Yeah, naturally, I guess by being his family and everything, and I appreciate it a lot. Like all these memories that we've made throughout all these years and everything, it's been great.
For real.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Great memories.
a lot of close bonds that
Mhm.
like it's
That
like
only
you,
happened with long nights of
yeah, you
drinking.
can't recreate, you know. yeah.
Honestly, it's like something you see in a movie now.
Takes that right amount of alcohol. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all. It is. One more beer that night would have changed everything. We don't know. We don't.
Or a Four Loco. Or a Four Loco.
Dude, we try to play King's Cup,
Yeah.
and we're playing with Four Locos, and like everybody had 2 Four Locos.
When was this?
Uh,
Recently or years back?
no, way back then.
Way back. Okay.
I think it was at like Jason's house or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Were they all
everybody,
were they all at least the same flavor Four Loco, or were you guys just going crazy and just getting whatever fucking flavor it was?
dude, we based it by color.
God damn, that's the way
Yeah.
And then, dude, I swear, like I could never drink 2 without blacking out.
That was the
Yeah.
that slogan that just got around. Like everyone could say you couldn't drink more than 2 and shit. And it's a fucking fact.
How
dude.
was your first Four Loco, Chris?
My first.
Can you explain to our audience? I don't think the
So
audience.
I was introduced to Four Locos through Sam and shit, and I don't know
Yeah.
who the fuck introduced him to them or something, but that's at the point when we were drinking a lot and shit, and then people were saying, nah, if you drink 2, you're gonna fucking black out, and we didn't believe him, dude, and so we went out and we had
You
2
took it,
each,
took the
and then I had
challenge.
2.5. I forgot whose half I fucking finished. And yeah, man. All I remember is I was fucking crawling to like Sam's bathroom and just ready to throw up at fucking like 5 feet away, and it was just fucking gross, dude. Just I felt that shit just in my
Projectile vomit.
stomach, and then yeah, you just feel your eyes shut, and the whole picture of like everything just get a little foggy, and I remember falling asleep on the floor, and that's it.
They were
That
rough,
was
man.
yeah.
Shh. Those are hard. I hate my first Four Loco.
What was it?
I was in Cardo's room, and drank the purple one, the
Mhm.
grape,
I
the
heard it was the worst one.
flavor, and it's only because Paquito bought it. He's like, "You gotta drink this, or I'm not giving you a ride home." the ride
Amazing.
home, yeah, that's the only way I'd get pursued to do stupid shit. So I drink it, and I'm not gonna go home. I'm fucked up, dude. So I go and lay down in bed. I put the blanket on, and as soon as I lay down, dude, I start vomiting. I felt like the throat was gonna come out.
Mhm.
Boom! I threw up, and I threw up like. Have you ever seen The Exorcist?
Yeah.
So, you know how when she gets up to bed and starts throwing up,
Mhm.
that's how I went.
Yeah.
Boom!
Where did you throw up though?
All over his blanket. and
then
then I went to the bathroom. That's how fucked up I was. I went to go throw up, and instead of me putting my head into the toilet to throw up like no normal person would when they're throwing up, no, I do it standing up, and I missed the fucking toilet bowl. And I legit I don't even hit the rim or anything. I just go straight to the floor and throw up, dude. It was just
It's foul.
foul. After that, I was like, fuck Four Locals. That's when people were dying from this shit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
People were dying from this shit.
Dude,
I don't
I
remember
swear.
that.
Because there were energy drinks with alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but something happened, right? They changed maybe an ingredient. Maybe they took
did.
take the little poison out or something. But it didn't have the same kick afterwards.
It was some venom and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did. That's what caused the change. Because I do know that nowadays they're not as strong and potent as they were when they first
Yeah.
out. But I forgot that people were dying on them and stuff.
I've been to a Modesto. I went to a rave with Cardo,
Mhm.
and everybody was drinking Four Locos. And when they were strong at a rave,
Damn.
I was like,
How many people got pregnant that night?
I have no idea.
I
I
don't
mean,
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Probably gave him whiskey dick, so who knows?
Yeah, it's true.
That is. You guys want to talk about whiskey dick?
Sure.
Yeah, I've never experienced it. Have you?
Yeah, I have whiskey dick.
Really?
Yeah. It's more so, I would say, on a night of hard alcohol.
Yeah.
On a night of hard alcohol, I mean, I guess it's called whiskey dick for a reason.
Mm.
Is it because
It's
of
not
whiskey?
beer dick. Beer dick, you know.
Is
you
it
could
because of
still-
whiskey?
No,
Yeah, you
well-
know what? I do drink whiskey, but I mean, it doesn't
Doesn't trigger
necessarily
it.
say that name. You know, there's people I'm sure that drink vodka and still get a whiskey dick.
Whatever. It's
Mhm.
it's when you drink too much alcohol that it's
Yeah.
like Unless all the blood doesn't go into it. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fucking-
It feel like there's like, I don't know where that connection happens, man. Because you could be thinking your hardest to try to get there, and it just doesn't want to work. You know, like you could be there all night, tugging
Yeah,
and
you're-
pulling,
You're
and
not.
it's
You're
not gonna
at
work.
100%. You're more at like 80.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
No. Only experience I have, I mean, it's not whiskey, but I could go for hours. Like my dick's numb, so I go for hours.
That doesn't get tiring.
It doesn't get tiring. Like,
No.
I mean,
You feel like a boss.
yeah, when you bust, I felt like great.
Yeah,
It's like
fucking
all that
Tigger.
work that I put in, dude. It's just, I feel like, I don't know, it's just great. Honestly, it's just the back. It's all that stress goes away.
Yeah.
That tension.
Fuck. After an hour, yeah, been bad. Shit.
Mhm.
But when you were in college, like, how different, like, besides whiskey days,
Let's get into
back
college.
to college. I know we digress off this.
You want to go to
But
college?
when you were in college, like, how different was it when you came back? Like, I know you were making your trips and stuff like
so you're
that.
saying
Like,
when he's done with college?
no, when he
Like,
was in college, like, how
Wow.
different was out there,
Oh.
the environment from over
You're two
here?
different worlds that
Yeah,
you're
two
pushing
different worlds. I know you probably learned a lot living on your own.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, in like college, it was like okay. The freshman year, I wasn't in like a fraternity or anything, but it was like you met a lot of like really good friends. Like I met Cindy through that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like my one of my fucking best friends, Tino. You know, I met that dude. It's like, it's super. You're kind of on your own, and you're out there, but you see all these other people that are kind of like trying to figure it out too, and you're like, okay, and same shit. You gravitate towards certain people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fucking reason why
That's a good
everybody who
example.
like was
Law of attraction.
yeah, they're like, oh shit, why are we all Mexican?
Yeah. Okay.
And but yeah, so it's
So did you gravitate to a lot of like Mexicans over there? Was that what it was? Like you seen like?
at first if
did
it
you
was
guys
by
feel
myself,
Like, mi raza.
not really. Like we weren't doing like any like this fucking
Mhm.
I don't know fucking some
Like-
weird movement type shit. No, it was
Brown
just,
pride.
like,
Bro.
like if I would like think of like some of our friends like oh yeah we kind of know we kind of have similar experiences
Mhm.
like oh like yeah we're all like first generation Americans
Yeah.
so it's like oh we kind of have
expectations.
yeah like we'll have more in common with ourselves than with I don't fucking know some other person that
Chad.
yeah Chad Kyle, you know
I'm fucking Chad.
yeah. But then, like, when I got into a fraternity, then it was like, oh shit, you're kind of like, you're deciding to join this like group, right?
Mhm.
And but there's all kinds of different cultures. Like our pledge class was, I think there was one white dude, and it was like 22 people, and the rest was like 8 black dudes, 8 Mexicans, a few like Indians, and it's like you fuck with a lot more people, and it's like those people
Mm.
become your homies, you know.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like-
and about these like black guys that joined your fraternity,
Uh-huh.
was it because they weren't able to join a black fraternity, or what was your fraternity about? What does it represent, as opposed what made these this few select young black men select
Well-
your fraternity over an African American?
At that time,
fraternity.
well, it's like the fraternity was Pike Kappa Alpha,
Uh-huh.
and they're really known for being
Nothing with the coffee, correct?
being no nothing. It's all about sports, like
Okay.
and being like they excelled at everything. You know,
Mhm.
they were running the shit like
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
lot of the competitions.
Okay,
and
so it's
it's like-
very
so
athletically
people-
gifted.
People, it's not necessarily that like they chose it;
Mhm.
it's that they got recruited.
Yeah,
it's like-
I have a
That's
question.
normally how it goes.
Yeah.
What made you join it? Because I know my girlfriend is, my lady's a sorority sister, and sometimes it's like fuck. Every time I went to her pageants, all these little things, and what made like for her, she said she joined it because she was a shy person in high school, so she wanted meet other people and then connect and actually meet people with connects and help her out and get a better job. Was that your reason of joining a fraternity, or is it something that you saw on TV, on movies and shit? I don't know if I don't know how similar they portray like in the movies, or is it?
No, there's there's like in the movies they glorify like hazing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not how it is in California.
How was your process?
There's laws against that shit, right?
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, the school will shut you down if like they really like find out that you're getting hazed or
Yeah.
whatever.
What's the furthest you could take as an extent to hazing? Like, what's the most hazing you do?
Well, it depends. Like,
Okay.
what can you do that the school doesn't find out? There was some dude, the pledge class before me. Like, they had to cut their whole class, but like they kind of
Oh, wow.
like joined secretly afterward.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
some weird shit.
Mhm.
But like they hogtied some dude, you know, like, and they were like,
That's not bad.
I was like, well, it's just funny.
I don't
It's
think that's too bad.
it's not bad. It's just it's like
not.
you've kind there were people that fucked with people. Like they'd
Mhm.
what did they do? They'd fucking feed them like
No hot sauce in the ass or anything.
no like. Damn it!
God damn it.
I don't know. Let's just. It's a whole process of like trying to humiliate someone
Yeah.
and trying to get them to quit.
Yeah.
And then if they stick with it and they get through it, then you're like, oh fuck, you're good.
Yeah.
Now you do that in the next class. And but it's like I said, like Fresno, well maybe some other fraternities, but like there wasn't too much hazing like you would see like in the movies.
Yeah, no, it's great. I always wanted to like learn from the male's perspective, from the fraternities and stuff, cause I'm not even. I don't know if I want. I'm not gonna bring. I'll bring it up. Like she hates on the. I don't want to say this, cause
Don't say it.
but like I know some processes. Like was your process really difficult?
It
To join?
was no. Well, it's like it made you busy. Like okay,
Uh-huh.
we got these events.
Mm-hmm.
Show up, support, do what you can, and a lot of them were fun. You know, it's like a lot of them were sporting events.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, we're gonna have a soccer tournament. Show up. We're gonna have a flag football tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there was also a lot of community service. Like, hey, we're gonna go to this food place, whatever. Like, where they hand out food and stuff. And it's a lot of volunteering. It's a lot of your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you have like a little, or because I know I don't know if that's the same with a fraternity from a sorority. I know my lady has like a little, and then she had to had a little just because she had two other bigs, and I guess they didn't want her to be their big, so they abandoned her, and she wouldn't.
People
Wouldn't-
glorified that whole thing. I thought it was like, whatever.
Did
Like,
you
if
have one though?
I had a little, yeah.
what
but it's
what
like
was
we
your
weren't
thoughts
su-
about it? Okay,
Yeah,
bring,
what's your
what was
thoughts?
your initial thoughts about it?
I don't know how-
What's the reality of it.
Like how are you allowed to even talk about certain stuff?
Yeah.
Dude, I
this
get
part's
thrown-
common stuff, but it's like it's cool if you want to have a little and you kind of want to show them the way, then do it. And I think I did that, and you know, like I was definitely there for my little, at least the homie Mozzie, but what's it called? Afterwards, like some people keep in contact for a long time. They become lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And then this just wasn't the case. We're like, you know, we're cool. We hung out like a cool amount, but it's like, you kind of lose contact. And then like after what, it's been 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I still keep in decent contact with pretty much like my pledge class,
Yeah.
the people who you crossed with.
Do you
Those are-
call each other brothers?
whatever? Now we're just PB.
Because
Oh yeah, so pledge bros.
the reason I'm saying this is the reason I'm saying is every time I meet one of her sorority sisters, hey sister, I'm not trying to like put them down. I'm just saying it's like to me this is like what the fuck,
It's
you know?
David's only heard sisters by other people.
Yeah.
Like, no, but they're but it's because he's a joke. I can't even speak 'cause you're such an idiot sometimes. But sorry, but yeah, like all her friends like are all her sorority sisters, and she don't really call them by their name. She calls them sisters, even though they're not from the same pledge.
Yeah.
They're from different lines and stuff. And it's like it's to me it's like it's really it's interesting, but at the same time like fuck, this is confusing. Y'all are practically a fucking gang because I'll be asking her, hey, what's your process? I can't talk about it.
Yeah, and
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
disrespectful to
Yeah.
talk about it. So it's like just whatever the process of like the rituals to like get in whatever, which in ritual is just a word. It's a process.
Yeah.
That's that's should be confidential.
Mhm.
But like, as far as the way you guys talk to each other, like I won't. Someone from Pike that's not in my pledge class, I'm not gonna call him like brother or anything. I'm just gonna, what's up, bro? Which is, I guess, a short version of that. But only my pledge bros I'd call. What's good, PB or something like that, you know?
Yeah, no, it's just to me. It's like we're at a mall one time and she had another one from another sister from another charter, and they were calling each other sister. Hey, sister, da da da.
Did they throw
Sister.
up gang signs to each other? and
Oh,
stuff, or-
dude.
yeah, they were like.
Oh man, you guys didn't go to my gender reveal. I mean, you guys were not at my gender reveal, but they all like her main like friends or like her homegirls that she goes out.
They formed Voltron
They're
or
all
what?
damn near, bro.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. I don't, dude. It's ridiculous. Like
yeah.
it was funny because like
where
all
you
her
gonna
main,
stack?
all her homegirls are all her sisters, like best friends and stuff. And they took a picture, and then I don't know what the hell they did, but they put fingers together, bro, and they spelled out their sorority now. And all I hear Pollito go, "What the fuck are they throwing blood signs and shit?" And but they were really organized. I've been to her pageants and stuff like that. It's just crazy because they're just like, I'm the only guy in the freaking auditorium, dude, and that's
Well, it's like that. I don't know if it's different for like at my fraternity. If people would throw like hand signs, it was. So we have, if you think of Pike as like the big organization, right?
yeah,
And then there's, as you kind of like the tree effect, there's different families. So and those are like kind of like supposed to be like, oh shit, like there's playful shit talking. Like, these guys are stars and stripes. These are fucking scum, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and so there's like disputes between
Subcategories.
yeah, but
that
you're
are-
all a part of the same fucking thing. Like, when anything goes down, you got anybody in your fucking fraternity's back.
So it's similar.
Are
to
you guys
prison
are-
gangs.
Are you guys are?
It is,
It is.
I guess, and that's
So you might.
you got a bunch of people, and like, let's say you're not even friends with someone, like,
Yeah.
you don't really know them that well, but it's like, you guys got this in common, you were all under that same umbrella, and like, fuck, you're gonna fucking take that dude's, oh, my bad.
It's like prison gangs.
Prison. I mean,
If,
I don't know how their different is, like how they are, you know, because they got. All right, go ahead. I don't know how like. I gotta ask them a question, but the only. It's similar. It's similar because the way they categorize their positions of top. They like a biker gang, like they have like their vice president, their president, their VP, their secretary, their treasurer, and then their sergeant at arms.
Sergeant
And-
arms?
or no, legit. Like I didn't know that until we were watching.
Where's your girl in the rank?
She didn't want to tell me.
Is she a minion? Or is she a
No.
boss bitch?
I think she's a boss.
She's
I
the
think she's a
bitch.
boss.
She's
bro.
the one that
Bro,
you were
she
talking
is.
about.
She is like I don't want to say a lot because I'd rather feel one of her sisters come up on our podcast, which I'm actually trying to get. Because she won't come on because she's like she's very shy. But she's told me a few sorority sisters that.
So now that you're back, Marco, David was just comparing his girlfriend's sorority to the Ku Klux Klan. So
No, ignore that,
Supremacist
Erica.
leader,
Erica.
and then they have
Erica. I
what is
tend.
it, a Klansman or what was the?
No, it's this was an idiot. I must have said because I said Sons of Anarchy, and just because that's a all white biker gang. And it does not all white. There's some Hispanics in there. If you watch the show, he assumed there was similar to Ku Klux Klan. He likes to build controversy. But I was watching Sons of Anarchy with Erica. Where we like to watch that, and we watched the Mines. So they had a similar at the table. They have sergeant at arms, president, vice president, and she was like, "We have that same thing." They was like, "Y'all even got a sergeant at arms? Like what?" Like I wanted to ask. You were I can see you being a sergeant.
Yeah.
So what
You were sergeant of arms?
Are you able to tell what this role entails? Because from my assumption from
Did you
is
beat the
it
shit out of people like the one
is
who-
fucking being that's what it.
It's a bunch of kids in college, dude. That's all it is. It's like,
Well, I
you're
mean,
in charge
you're a
of,
man
like,
to fight.
You're in charge of, like, let's say, I'd say discipline, as far as like,
Discipline.
hey, someone's fucking up. You need to like
Choke him.
tell them to.
That's all I need to belly.
Just a quick little sleep. You just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Solid knee to belly. Solid
Knee on belly.
knee on belly. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's yeah. So it's whatever. It's like if someone gets in trouble, let's say someone files in normal terms, I guess it'd be like files like a complaint on somebody, but like
Yeah.
it's a different word that we use.
Get a little more closer to
Oh,
me.
sorry.
You're good.
We'll have to fucking knock the damn microphone. But,
Nah, you're good.
yeah, this was talk with my hands. See,
You
fuck.
got well. Just speak a little louder. You know what I'm saying? Nah,
Oh yeah. And so someone files a complaint, and then someone would have to like kind of be like the judge.
Mhm.
You're like, okay, yeah, you fucked up, and you're kind of like the sentencer. It's like, oh yeah, so it's like you'd be like, all right, you fucked up, you gotta do whatever, like
How
this
many
much of community service. You need to study this many study hours. You keep your people in check, but by doing good things. You know,
Okay.
like, oh, you got to be sober at this party. You got to be sober,
Oh.
brother. Because like every party, you'd have to have a certain amount of people that are sober just to make sure.
Well, that's nice. That's
For one-
responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So for
that's
one,
pretty
for the
cool.
cops come,
Mhm.
someone can fucking talk to him,
Mhm.
and then we're like, hey man, this is cool. Nothing's going on. Everything's fine. Yes, we'll keep the noise down.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, speaking of parties and shit, what is your favorite Fresno party?
Fuck.
Besides me
Honest-
getting ran up all over.
No, dude. Like
I never went to any of these Fresno parties, so I want to hear an experience of your favorite Fresno party, and then I guess David, you can give your favorite Fresno party
I was
too.
like, I didn't really. I wasn't super into like. I mean, granted, like a lot of the parties were hella fun. Like whatever, we'd have it at the Pike House, and you kind of just go from door to door, just drinking with everybody, fucking taking shots, doing all just
all to all
normal-
the little fraternity houses and stuff. Or
you hang out. But like probably like my favorite like things, it's like just they were called Brotherhood, like retreats, like or just the homies, just dudes. Nobody can invite girls, and then you'd have beer pong Olympics, and it's like you fucking get teams of 4. There's 30 people, and or whatever, and then you kind of have a bracket. You got a bunch of games. You got 4-banger. You got beer pong, flip cup, who could pound it faster, just like all these games, and then you tally up the points. But those were like the funnest because it's like it's just hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it crazy how like as we get into these you get into these college years, and you do have these beer pong Olympics and everything, but you have experience from when you were in high school,
Oh yeah.
from when you're younger and everything.
Were
Like
you
it, like
advanced?
isn't it crazy to see like a lot of other people are also coming back from their high school experiences? Or did you find it more so that people were just as they entered college learning these games that you had
No,
previous experience
I
from?
think a lot of the
People learned,
the people
right?
who join fraternities,
Mhm.
like they want to fucking drink, they probably drink in high school too. So
Yeah.
it's like it's not new fucking territory for
Was
them.
that your motive?
No, dude. No,
Well, you may pretty much you said like, well, I mean,
no, that was like my
The majority?
It was
my
a
fondest
motivating factor.
memories. Yeah. Like, I fucking liked because they had intramurals and stuff, and I liked playing like the sports,
Mhm.
and that'd probably be like why I would join. Just like, oh, you get paired up on pretty good teams, better chances of winning and whatnot.
What do you think, since we're talking about sports and everything, this is like, I don't know, this is just a question that popped in my head at this moment. What do you think, like, automatically, like, gives us that competitive fire? What draws us to, like, sports? What draws that certain crowd to that type of competitive field? Like, instead of others that drift towards, say, education and want to be in the math Olympics, like, what do you feel like draws us to that? To like sports and competitive things. And
I think you got to be good at it.
You think we have to be naturally good at it?
Nobody
Yeah.
that's not good at sports.
Yeah.
Serious about sports.
Yeah,
You
Athletic.
gotta actually have to be athletic.
Athletic.
Mhm.
Like I'm very competitive, and I think I am athletic. I don't know whether people think, but I don't give a shit.
I think if you could skateboard, you could balance yourself on a fucking board. I think you're
I could
pretty
box.
athletic.
Yeah.
It's pretty athletic, bro. And I didn't even know that was like actual like I didn't know I was good at it until I actually started. because people would tell me like, "Damn, you learned this fast,"
Yeah.
you know. But I've always been. I mean, I've always been in martial arts since I was a kid. So, my first was Gujufu Kendo. I know yours is wrestling. I consider wrestling a martial art
I think that,
because it's legit. You fucking you
look
go,
at the UFC. Like,
yeah.
wrestling helps, man.
No,
It's
definitely. Like, though, when the UFC started, the wrestlers were the dominators. They were dominating everybody at that time, back in the
What you're
days.
But-
talking about is judo, right?
Besides Hoist Gracie, you
Jiu-jitsu,
know, besides
yeah.
jujitsu.
Jiu-jitsu,
So it'd be
Yeah.
like there was what the fuck was that dude's name? It was like this wrestling.
not
phenom.
Shamrock, right? No.
Nah, big old buff steroid dude. But wrestling beat everything
At the
except
time,
jujitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
But once you get wrestling and jujitsu,
Oh man, you're an animal.
then that's like Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes was champion for a hell of a long time,
And
and
then-
that's like that fool was wrestling and jujitsu.
when I called you, I was like, hey, what am I getting into when I do jiu-jitsu?
Uh-huh.
I only did like 2 tries. Like I just don't feel comfortable on the floor. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. And the first thing Marcos told me, he was like, prepare to get choked out.
Yep.
And
Not choked out. You're gonna get
you're
Fall
fucked,
asleep?
dude. And I remember I was like, man, I thought ankle locks were like not a cool thing. Oh, dude,
Don't do ankle locks.
I never did, but they were doing it to me.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I mean, but then again, I'm going to a very high, like you said, that was like
Describe
it's
to
a very.
me, like, since I don't know about an ankle lock, what is an ankle lock? Like, what is
I'll
it?
let you
does?
explain. That's your expertise.
Well, leg locks usually. So it's kind of like if you do a heel hook or
Mhm.
ankle locks. Ankle
You
locks
pretty
like
much
straight,
tryna
straight
push-
arm ankle locks
Mhm.
are legal. Like, but generally they don't.
You're trying to
want
push
you.
a kneecap in at this point, right? That's what you're fighting against. Is that
Yes,
what it is, or
kinda.
So
no?
if you look
Yeah.
look at your foot and you
Mhm.
just twist it inward
Mhm.
or outward,
Mhm.
and you just fucking put it at, like at 90 degrees,
Yeah.
your knee's gonna pop out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's what like heel hooks are pretty
Yeah.
bad, or your knee
I would
bars.
imagine.
Are those
and-
allowed in tournaments?
They are if you're at a a different belt. So it's like white belts, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Shit. You're not even allowed
Yeah.
to like practice it. And then once you like keep going, I think, fuck, I want to say brown belt maybe. You're at like normal IBJJ fucking tournament rules, whatever.
Uh-huh.
They can. I'd have to look it up, but right off the back, like let's just say blue belts, white belts for sure. You can't do leg locks
Uh-huh.
at tournaments, just because. I think it's just more. There's if you fuck up someone's knee, they're out. For
They're
a long
done. Yeah,
time.
exactly. And a lot of white belts probably don't know what.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man, and then it's a very delicate move too, because like
Yeah.
if you fucking go for it and you put like a little bit of pressure in like a wrong way, yeah, you can fuck someone. It's like more of like if you know the move, you practice the move, you know how much pressure you should put in, then do it.
But
But,
if you're an amateur on it, you're gonna fuck somebody's
They'll-
leg.
you
up.
could,
You
man.
could. It's
Pop it.
dude. It's.
Yeah.
When I got there, dude, I did like I said, dude. I was getting, but then again, I was going against a brown belt,
Yeah.
and he was like a high. He's actually really high rank in the brown belts and stuff, but he kept fucking me up, and we would do the 10-minute rolls and
10
5-minute
minutes,
rolls.
that's a lot.
Fuck.
Fuck that.
And our sensei, shout out to the sensei, but he would fucking. He's all, we're the best at what we do because we train hard.
Yeah.
You know.
And some schools like they
They're-
do teach like leg locks right off the back.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All power to them, you know. They probably train it a lot more.
Mhm.
But it's like at other schools, it's like at the school that I go to, they
It's more of a
don't teach
disciplined
that
art.
much leg locks. They unless like maybe you go like get the 12 o'clock classes, which generally like more high level
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu guys go.
Dude, a black belt's like equivalent to a master's.
It's fucking 10 years.
10 years, dude. Like, I legit, like,
You know what else is 10 years?
What?
The last time I had a beer.
I'll get you one right
I'm
now.
just kidding.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm fascinated with jiu-jitsu. I love martial arts. That's why I'm
Yeah.
so juiced that you're coming out. Like, man, I want to have a conversation.
what like? So since we're getting towards a little bit towards the MMA part of it, you're one of the first people that I've seen, like, actually watch UFC, like
Yeah.
actually scheduled to watch it and stuff.
I've been watching.
What piqued your interest into UFC? Was it a certain fighter? Was it more so just to see the different arts go against each other? What was it that like piqued
Honestly,
your interest?
I think, because like I was into wrestling, and then that's how like we'd hang out with Jason, and
Mhm.
Jason's family would always watch the UFC fight. So we'd go over because like fuck man, that shit's $60. We're not paying for that.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like,
No, I feel
they'd
it.
always have people over, and we'd
Mhm.
like that's when like Iceman Liddell, you know, and
Yeah.
Matt Hughes. GSP was just coming up, like he hasn't won the belt yet. BJ Penn was a fucking beast, and Jason's family were hella crunk for him because he's a Hawaiian dude, and like Jason's got like some family that goes back to like Hawaii or whatever. But even though he's Filipino and Mexican, but still it's what's it called? Oh, what the hell is that?
It says Orales to
Orale.
wrestlers. I specifically picked that for you.
That's what's up. Oh, it's
Thanks,
Orale
sir.
beer. But yeah, it was like that era when I first started watching it.
So the Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, all that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well,
Randy
sure.
When I be
Couture.
back, I'll talk about that.
Yeah, but and yeah, I've been watching it ever since. I mean, sometimes I don't follow it as much. But
Yeah.
like as far as like lately, since it's the only sports that are going on, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
following it. I would
I
bet.
would imagine, man.
Jesus, man, what the fuck-
Do you happen to have a favorite UFC fighter of all time?
of all time.
It doesn't have to be the best. Would you say that Anderson Silva is the best, or no?
Fuck. The GOAT?
Yeah.
I think so. I
You think
like.
so?
I
That
think-
he's able to still fuck people up even though he has these issues and everything that he still deals with. And
No, not now. Not
No?
now. That
Okay.
time has passed. But when he was on that run,
yeah.
unstoppable.
Mhm.
Yeah, like wow, like he'd knock people out with a jab walking backwards. Like that dude was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But like my favorite fighter. Let's see. Damn, I did like BJ Penn. I like
Mhm.
Diego Sanchez. Diego Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
The Diaz brothers, of course.
Diaz brother.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on.
A specific fighter or anything like that.
What did I miss?
What about you, David? So all I asked in this little time that you were out getting me a beer, thankfully, thank you, David.
Yeah.
Is we were asking Marcos what his favorite fighter is. He doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily have one. You know, he did name a few. One of them being BJ Penn, another one being a Mexican
I'll
cat, and then
BJ Penn down.
and then the Diaz brothers, of course.
Yeah, Diego
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Oh man, the Nightmare.
Dude, that dude.
Damn, fucking monster. He's been in the game for years too.
Yeah, even though he never really got, he never won the belt, but
Yeah.
he was a, contender.
So I've been watching the UFC like since I was like 9 years old. So my uncles used to watch it, and they got me into like martial arts. And my dad also is like a big ass Bruce Lee fan.
Oh yeah.
So my dad got me into karate, and my uncles actually taught me how to do street fights. But they've actually used to do smokers when they were younger
Mhm.
in the Bay Area.
Mhm.
My uncle Fred. No, I don't know if you ever met him, but
I don't think so.
he used to do smokers. You know what smokers are,
Smoker
right?
fights?
Yeah, smoker fights.
What's
and he would
that?
just. So those are like underground fights, but they're not on your record.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, amateurs, but they're not on your record. They're kind of
Mhm.
like.
Yeah.
You know, little events, little
Yes.
local events. So
Yeah,
get your rep up.
yeah, exactly. So they did them a few times, but I remember watching it. I remember the first. I can't remember that dude's name, but he was I think he was Samoan or Hawaiian, but he was a big ass dude, bro. He was a wrestler, I think, too.
Oh.
And then I remember Pride fighting.
Oh,
Pride
dude.
fight. So my uncle would not let me watch Pride
Mm-hmm.
because Pride was even more brutal.
Pride was the
The one for Japan.
preview before UFC,
Yeah.
right? That's the or like
they were wrong about the
they're
wrong.
running concurrently, but
Mhm. But they were the
Um,
rivals. It's like the
Mhm.
two, fucking Walmart and Target.
Mhm.
It's like
Okay.
they're the big ones, you know.
And the only time you seen UFC mixed martial arts was at night. So you would watch those fights like at 12.
after Jerry Springer.
Well, it was in ESPN. It was on ESPN. So I remember watching Andre Silva, the other Silva, the dude with the Grim Reaper on his back.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, this dude's dude. He had a little
Diablos.
he had a little mohawk like right here, and he was a heavyweight. I think he was like heavyweight.
Bitch, are you talking about Tim Sylvia?
Yeah, Tim Silva. I know if I fucking butcher his name. It's the reason I don't like him. I'm gonna get to it is because my favorite fighter growing up was the Pitbull Andre Arlovsky.
Andre Varsky.
Arlovsky was a bad dude. Dude, yeah, growing up, fucking animal. He's from Russia.
Like 2 feet or not 2 feet.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Oh,
a couple
fuck, is
inches.
that? Sorry.
Yeah,
He
a
was
little
from
bit
Russia,
better.
dude.
Just a
I'm
little bit
telling you,
better.
Chris.
Better?
Yeah, way better. Yeah.
All right.
He was like the. He was a manly dude, bro,
Mhm.
hairy as fuck, and they call him the pit bull
Mhm.
because he was just a brawler and he was a skilled wrestler.
Yeah.
'Cause I forgot what part of the
Sambo or some shit.
yeah, Sambo. Actually, Sambo. Actually, now I think about it, and dude, he would always wear his mouth guard. Dude, I thought his mouth guard was a shit. It was some pit bull like dog fangs, bro. Just and he was for a minute he was a light heavyweight champion for the UFC for a while.
Yeah.
But the only time he would lose at the time when he was in his prime, he would lose to Tim Silva
Yeah.
all the time. And that's why I don't really care about that. Fuck him. Oh no,
Yeah.
actually he was a heavyweight champion. Now that
Yeah. He's a heavyweight, and now that I think of it, my favorite fighter probably Cain Velasquez.
Oh
That dude,
yeah,
I forgot. I don't know how I forgot.
first
about him.
Mexican.
Yeah.
Mexican
Dude, that fool just grit,
His
grit, just fucking
boxing was dope.
cardio, dude.
Trains at AKA.
Yeah, and then San Ho.
Yeah, well-renowned kickboxing school too.
You know?
As you mentioned previously about like the Diaz brothers being one of your favorites and everything. When did you start to hear about them? Because I'm sure you knowing about UFC were
Mhm.
probably like one of the first people to know about him, and then as his fame grew, he became sort of a local
Well,
star.
Nick
And
was
Nick
it was
whooping
Nate first,
ass.
no?
no Nick.
Nick?
Nick with the
Oh no,
older-
Nick the older one. That's the older
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
So Nick, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
started
And
from
Nate started with the Ultimate Fighter, right?
yeah Nick.
No,
Well,
that's
Nick,
Nate.
No,
Nate,
Nate.
Nate.
Nate started with
With
the
Ultimate
Fighter.
Fighters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Nick was the older one. I'm thinking
Yeah,
of the older
older.
one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
older one was the one that was first, of course. Yeah.
So Nick
And then-
was, I
and
think,
Nick.
if I'm correctly, I need to fucking look it up. I think
That's
he started at Pride.
He did.
He started in Pride.
He had that because like you
Didn't.
Google like
Mhm.
he had this one choke that's like what the fuck, like it's really hard to do. He had a go plata. So
Never heard of that.
If you just Google it, it's like it was like some Korean dude or some shit. I don't even
Mhm.
know, some Asian dude, and it's a weird choke to do, and he
Mhm.
did it, and it's like holy crap. So, I remember watching the highlights of that, but probably when I first started seeing him was when because I was following Diego Sanchez.
Yeah,
And
wasn't
he's-
he an Ultimate Fighter winner
He was
too?
the first one.
First one, Diego
Yeah.
Sanchez, dude. Chris, you gotta watch that dude.
And
He's
then
He's Mexican?
badass.
he fought
Yeah,
Nick
the Nightmare.
Diaz.
He's Mexican. Yeah,
And
Mexican
it's like
American.
these two dudes just had like really good cardio.
Yeah.
It's like a really good match.
Like triathlons. Dude.
Yeah.
They swam against the Alcatraz. Like
Mhm.
Nate and Nick like
Yeah,
swim.
they both do that
They do
yearly.
this
They
shit,
said
dude.
they
Yearly,
said
bro.
they do it yearly.
Yeah.
But I mean, Diego Sanchez outworked him, like, which is crazy because Nick
Mhm.
Diaz is already like really fucking. They both. It was two really fast paces going after.
Yeah.
After it.
I remember the first time hearing about them was my uncle telling me, he's like, hey man, there's a guy from Stockton with the same last name as you.
Oh yeah.
Bad motherfucker. I was like, who is Nick? So I remember, and he was he was actually, it was like in the UFC, Nick. And then a few years later, I think it was my junior, Nate was in
The
the
Ultimate
Ultimate
Fighter.
Fighter, and he actually won the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
He fucking fought. I don't think he fought him, but there was some guy named Kendall.
Wasn't it?
He was from Hawaii.
It was Kendall. I thought it was the Arabian dude.
Yeah,
Well, he
man,
beat the
he-
Kendall, but Kendall was on. Yeah, but there was two weight classes at the time.
Was there?
Kendall was a champion from the other weight class, and
Well,
then Nate was the other champion from that weight class.
I think you're mistaken.
Am I mistaken? Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
Yeah, because I think that one, Nate Diaz, right? So
Yeah.
he
yeah,
was.
Nate, the younger brother. So
It was the BJ Penn versus Jens Pulver.
Yeah, yeah,
And they were all one weight.
yeah.
As in, like, on previous UFCs.
I thought there were
Yeah.
different weight classes.
No, the first one, they had 185 and
Uh-huh.
then 205.
That was Mac Hughes and
Yeah, that's Matt. Fuck. No, the first one was, like, Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture
Oh, yeah, it
as
was.
the coaches.
Oh, that was
But that's when...
Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner fought.
Yeah.
That was the baddest fucking
yeah,
fight.
that one was crazy.
That was the best fucking UFC fight. At that, I mean, if I remember, I still to this day I think that's one of my favorite fights of all time, bro.
Non-stop.
Non-stop, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm gonna give you guys both a fucking contract,
Yeah.
dude."
Like, you fight like that, and then like it's also with what's his name, Mike Goldberg. He's like, so you wanna be an Ultimate Fighter?
Fighter.
And I'm like, damn, that's what you gotta do. Like, oh damn.
It used to be on Spike TV, the Ultimate
Yeah.
Fighter, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This is I used to watch. I mean, I grew up watching this, and then, it's crazy though. Like that, me and you have like the similar.
Mhm.
We nerd out with this shit. Dude.
Oh, hell
Dude,
yeah. Super big fan.
Mhm.
That have been ever since. Yeah, even with these past fights with
You watch Adesanya?
yeah.
What do you think about
Is he your
the?
favorite?
Oh wait, hold up.
fighter
Wait,
coming
the
up
one
now?
that's coming up.
No,
yeah.
the one before. Before
Oh.
all this shit happened.
That shit was stupid.
The
And they're
Adesanya
just-
and
they're
Romero.
Playing counter strike,
Oh,
each other
it
the
was-
whole time.
it was-
Joel Romero.
Romero's always weird though, man. He's
It's a fucking freaking
he's
nature,
like yeah,
dude.
he's a counter guy. You know, he's kind of waiting for them to get in and he explodes.
Well,
But the other guy wasn't playing his game. He's playing his game.
they were.
You know, he's playing his fight. So it's like what that fight was gonna be.
It was gonna be
Weird.
weird. I don't know if me and you have the same opinion, but like I went to go watch. We went to I don't forgot where the fuck we went, but the guy, one of the Erica's like sorority sister's boyfriend bought it, and he's like, oh, that fight's kind of whack. I was like, dude.
Whoa.
These two motherfuckers are respecting each other, dude. They don't want to fucking hit because Leo Romero hits you, you're fucking. Yo Romero hits you, you're fucked.
Yeah, he got.
And then
KO'd
you
out.
get hit by the other guy, Adesanya, and it's
Well, I mean, you also got to remember the fight that just happened previously.
oh,
to
dude, that
it,
was a brutal. That was one.
which was Wei Wing Lee and
Joanna
Juszczyk.
dude.
I did
And that
not
fucking
watch that
fight.
one.
I
Dude,
was-
you missed
oh
that
my
fight.
God.
Dude, I
That
was-
fight was
I didn't wanna
fucking
pay
raw.
for it, so I've been, like, streaming it, and
Yeah.
There's
There's a fight going on right now. Well, it's finishing. but
Oh
it's
man,
probably done.
can you post it or can we put my phone on
It's
it? Or?
dead. It just finished. I mean, it just
But-
finished.
But yeah,
Dude, fights. Dude, MMA is a shit, and I love martial art. Mine, I mean, obviously boxing. I'm glad that boxing is getting up there too. You know what I'm saying? And I think a big part of boxing going up was Triple G, dude. Triple G,
was a gangster, man. That was like,
I brought it up because honestly, I think
That's what I do
boxing
like
was
Triple
like
G.
I got into
I
boxing.
like boxing way more than UFC, but this is at the time when boxing was bigger than UFC.
yeah.
I feel like they're on par. I wouldn't say UFC has eclipsed it just yet.
UFC's going to
Um,
pass.
I think so.
It might. Especially right
It's in the
now.
infant stage, dude.
It's really boxing has to have its next star, and it doesn't
Well,
necessarily have
Got Ryan
a
Garcia.
big-
Well,
Danny Garcia.
Ryan Garcia.
No?
Nah, Ryan Garcia.
Is-
I know
is
what you're
it-
talking about. I'll give you my really honest opinion about him. I like his work ethic. I love that he's quick. I love that I just seen him in like one fight against a Mexican brawler, and he kind of struggled on that fight.
Yeah.
Wait until he fights an actual skill fight. His weight class is a stacked ass weight class, bro. He has Lomachenko, Vasily Lomachenko in that weight class. He has what's his name? The other he's a Guatemalan dude. Fuck, I forgot his name. He has Gervonta Tank. You know, Gervonta Davis. He has Pitufo,
You like
Timofeo
Gervonta
Lopez.
Davis?
I
Huh?
was about to
You
say.
like Gervonta Davis?
I
don't
do,
like
but
him.
he doesn't have
I feel like he's hype, bro.
he is a hype, but his like he's a power puncher. You can't take that away from him. Other than like work ethic wise, compared to Ryan Garcia, I mean, because if you really think about it, Gervonta Davis' work ethic is a little bit different from. He's old.
I don't follow
Boxing, dude, healthy
as
wise.
much as you. Like I know the, you know.
the top
kinda-
tier players.
Yeah. the
Have you
fucking ones
guys?
that
So speaking of boxing,
are
have you
very
guys
casual
have you guys
boxers.
heard of Tyson coming back?
Oh,
And
yeah.
possibly fighting Holyfield.
I thought it was Briggs.
I see Holyfield. That's the
Too
one
old
that
to
I'm hearing.
fight.
Yeah, they're still.
Well, if they get tested, I don't think they're gonna pass because these motherfuckers are taking like
Who
testosterone
gives a
pills.
shit?
I mean, I don't give a shit, but you know, if you know how boxing they get tested for which, fuck it, give them 4 rounds. Who gives a fuck? These motherfuckers are like in their 50s, dude. I think Holyfield's almost in his late 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're up there.
Fuck it, they need the testosterone and whatever supplements they need. You know that's
Yeah.
fuck it, dude. Like
TRT.
yeah, exactly. I mean, as long as USADA don't get in that bullshit.
Well,
Boxing
and
and
UFC.
UFC, but
Yeah.
you never know. These are old fucks.
I don't know, man. They just fucking do it in Vegas. I feel like they can get
Yeah.
away with it.
So Spencer, speaking of the UFC and everything,
Oh.
you've seen some pretty faces fucked up, like get out there and everything. But have you ever seen a face as fucked up as when Miguel had Bell's palsy?
Oh.
Why?
That was a fucking weird ass thing. Yeah.
When was this, in high school?
Yeah, because I remember he talked to the librarian at our school because apparently like
You can spit game.
no, she had that, like when she was like younger. And,
Yeah.
What's it called? I guess they kind of like she was telling them like her experience of it. She still kind of had it too, you know, like
Yeah.
kinda, like half. It wasn't all the way recuperated,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a fucked up thing, random. I think it runs in the family because
Yeah.
I got a tia that has that too.
What?
So it's like, well, but you know, it happened for like a while.
Yeah.
Got over it.
Yeah. That's
But,
what I.
like. I don't think their face ever really recuperates 100%. But it's like with Miguel, it's like it's fucking. You can barely tell. It's either fucking slanted as they are anyway.
Yeah.
But
But he told me. I remember when he told me about it. He said he worked hella hard to get that movement.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm
you
sure.
have to.
Yeah.
It's physical therapy, man. You have to fucking. You have to work that muscle.
Yeah, you can't just give up and fucking expect it to fix
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
You know.
Which is like, when it comes to physical therapy, that's a one thing. When I broke my arm, it's like
Oh yeah, dude.
I
Don't
fu-
you got like bolts and
I
shit?
got metal plates, dude.
Yeah.
Therapy was a bitch, dude. I couldn't move none of these fingers, bro. Like this move, I couldn't do this. I couldn't.
What is it
rotate-
like to look at your hand and not be able to move it?
Oh, that shit was horrible.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that shit. I was like this. I
Mhm.
fucking hated my life for a little bit. So when I started going to therapy, they had me do these exercises, going like this, boom,
Pinching your
and
thumbs
then
and
every
your fingers to
tendon
your
will hurt because it
everything.
gets stuck from not moving.
Yeah.
From the therapist explaining to me. I hope Alejandro could correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, yeah,
But-
your
yeah.
limbs are
Yeah,
elastic.
elastic. So
If not, they begin to harden.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
So I was going like this, and it hurt like a bitch, like a pinching pain. Boom, and I would do it for hours, doing this, and then I would get a weight and do that, lift it, like twist it, for your forearms, and eventually I started regaining, the thing. But it is a very painful process, and I remember I was speaking to Alejandro about it because he works in that field, and he said a lot of people would complain, about the pain, and I was like, yeah, I mean, mine's not as severe as other people. I'm pretty sure there's other people
Just
that
had
have
to
it
play
worse.
with that dick, though. Huh? That's what it was.
Yeah, dude, like he's it is no fame.
It still hurts though, cause this is my hand. When I boxed and sparred, like legit, this is my jab hand.
Oh,
I
yeah.
use this a lot, and with technique, I don't
Jabbing
feel it.
yank.
I remember when I started, that shit used to hurt, like my forearm, and then with learning technique and using my weight and my hips,
Yeah.
I don't observe, especially when I block, it doesn't hurt as much because
Yeah.
I'm using my weight and my muscle. So with with boxing and technique, it doesn't hurt at all. So it's just I'm like it's normal.
Yeah.
But when I went to go get my amateur card, I got denied
Oh, because of that.
the physical. Yeah, it was like you're not like because it's
You're
it's a risk.
bionic.
You're at risk. You could hurt
People-
yourself.
Yeah.
That and another thing is like you could break that shit. They didn't want to risk it. So
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I mean,
they-
which I wanted to try.
they probably had a good. I mean, it sounds like a good reason. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they probably did it for myself, for other people, and
Yeah.
myself. But I don't think it hurts. Like, I don't think I'm giving 100% as normal as I would.
Yeah.
I think I'm like 90, like 7, like 8, 95%.
It's pretty good.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
Speaking of therapists, physical therapists, you seem to be dating a therapist, Marco.
Yep.
So what's that life like?
It's good. It's honestly.
Yeah. David wanted to know because I don't think David can handle dating a therapist. Someone constantly critiquing his thoughts and minds and emotions and
Does she
movements.
shape? Does she like separate work from
Yeah.
personal?
Yeah.
You have to.
Definitely.
You have to.
I mean, I could recall like probably like closer to.
She's my therapist when I'm drunk. Just throw it out.
Oh, dude.
I
yeah.
love talking to her when I'm drunk. On some real shit, bro. Like I remember that one. I showed up to your house, dude. It was like over and slow, man, and I was drunk, shroomed out. I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck it.
It was years, So,
You know,
but yeah, she helped out with that process.
Yeah.
That open sore, that
I just
open
feel like
wound.
David wouldn't be able to handle that type of relationship. I feel like it would be emotionally draining on him.
It's not really, man. It's
Mhm.
like, you know,
'Cause
but
I would
put your work
imagine-
face aside.
Mhm.
You still have your emotions,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your whatever. If anything, it'll help you like maybe balance some of it out or whatever.
Mhm.
But
It's because you guys are both very
I would-
educated.
I would think dating someone that's a therapist would be great because they would be understanding in every situation.
100%.
They would
yeah.
be like, okay, they would instead of being like acting off pure emotion,
Mhm.
they would want to have some sort of thought process behind the reaction to whatever it is that's going on.
Yeah, there's logic to
Yeah.
why someone reacts some way. That's like,
Mhm.
I think.
I
that's
don't
what
think
that
I was
would
gonna be
help.
so emotional strain for me in a relationship. I don't
I
know why
think
do
you
you
would be
think.
very dependent on it.
It would probably help me out.
I
but
think you would want her to be critiquing you constantly.
I'm
be
a person
forward.
likes to get. I like to get better at what I do. So
yeah.
Mhm.
This is my personality. Like I like to perfect my art, and I'm a perfectionist. I'm not ever gonna change that.
Yeah,
You know.
and fuck, right? That's a good point. It's like, when someone points out something like, you kind of do this, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, okay, now you're aware. It's like, am I being a dick? It's like, oh, I guess I am.
Yeah.
It's
And this kind of goes back to the conversation we had earlier as far as myself and not being conscious of others and their
Oh,
feelings and
yeah.
everything. I wasn't, thinking about their feelings and everything. It wasn't like not thinking about how that person would react. It was more so just of what the reaction I attempted to try to bring out. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
you did this, you did, this action to get this response, and then
but
it's
it
like,
caused this other one.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to think of what caused why that person felt that way
uh-huh.
at that time. It was more so like, well, that joke didn't land. All right, let's go again. Let's go.
It's like being self-aware. Just,
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I
Mhm.
see what I'm doing here. But yeah, it's super. It's super chill.
This super chill.
Yeah, there's no at first, because I've noticed whenever like her and her therapist friends, like they'd hang out, sometimes they'd be like they get like two types of responses when they meet somebody and they tell them that they're a therapist. That's why like sometimes they don't even tell them. They're like, hey, that's what I do, because like it's either one, they're gonna spill their heart out,
Mhm.
or two, they're not gonna trust them and they're not
Yeah.
gonna tell them anything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it's like, oh, I could totally see it. And I've seen it happen
Mhm.
before. It's like, Cindy, like, it's like, oh, she told her what she does. And then, like, this girl just instantly started, like, tearing up, like, and then, like, she almost, like, wanted to start, this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. Or
And then that's when your girlfriend was like, my fees are $35 an hour.
Unless your family is and you're drunk, good discount.
That's why he's like, oh, I'm an accountant. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, no one, whatever. It's like no one asks questions about
No.
that,
Mhm.
Nah,
So what did you add today?
Yeah.
It's like
Numbers.
yeah.
Cindy's tight, bro. She's cool. I like her like a lot, bro. It's funny though.
So
Yeah.
we're here to
She has. It's funny though. Remember that one time in Slow? I don't know if you want me to talk about it
Oh.
when she got into that situation.
What's the? Oh,
Oh
fuck.
fuck! You were furious, dude.
Fucking-
Do you want me to bring it up or not?
Fucking bring it up, man.
Oh man, dude, he was
Wait.
fucking pissed though.
Dude.
Not because of like her, but because I'm not gonna lie, we was bitches.
Oh, I think I understand the situation of where
Yeah.
she was trying to egg people on.
No, not necessarily,
I don't
no.
think- I don't think she understood.
Okay, so this isn't
the
the-
risk factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, because we're in a line to get into a bar.
Yeah.
There was like a few of us, and Cindy was the only girl there.
Yeah, she was the only girl
And
there.
then, but then these fucking big douche
Corn-fed ass
yeah,
dudes.
white dudes just
Yeah.
come up and they start cutting like people. They're drunk. They
Yeah.
were harassing the people behind us. They were harassing this black girl like right behind us. Then like some like
When
Mexican.
aren't they harassing?
Yeah, they were just fucking being dicks.
Dicks, yeah.
And then Cindy like was like kind of mouthing off to them. And but it's
I remember
good.
this
And then-
line.
and she was like saying like you guys like are acting kind of like jokes.
Yeah.
And then but these guys fucking come and like
I
these
remember
guys,
her line, dude.
Yeah,
that
what
she-
did she say?
I remember she was. You're only talking to me like that because I'm a girl. But that means you're a bitch.
Yeah.
and then like it was funny because me and Marcos were like ready. We're like this. So he looks at Marcos. He's like, "What you going?" Like looks at him, goes to me, then goes to Miguel, and then said something to Miguel because the smallest one.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter, but we
we're
were.
not gonna risk anything. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we're all already in our careers. And
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
We're like a little bit too old to fucking get in the fights like that. We got more to lose.
And then he ends up
But-
picking up some other Mexican guy,
Yeah,
and then he started selling. And he was from Sacramento.
yeah. These guys, man, it's like it's just the carelessness of like a 22-year-old dude, probably on fucking, on roids, and he's approaching us. That we weren't at that level. Like we're trying to get into this bar.
We're
know?
trying to have a good time,
Yeah.
dude. We're having a good time that week.
It was just a shift in vibe. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
Like you guys are like going ready to have a fun time, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Fuck, now I gotta fight."
And the important thing is, we had the choice, and
There was a cop.
yeah, there's a cop down the fucking street. It's like we chose not to fucking do this. It's like whatever. It's gonna. I felt like a bitch,
I did too.
but it's
took
like
the
that was
higher-
the right move.
You took the higher ground.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just would have felt bad for those guys because I think we would have fucked them up.
Like, more people?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, but it's
It's not worth
is
it.
it worth going to jail?
It's not worth even losing our jobs. I would have
Yeah.
lost my job definitely.
Yeah, me too. It's like,
So-
what happened to Marco? Why is Marco's face all messed up?
Yeah.
You know, I've been in the work like with black eyes, so I could kind of like pass it on. It's like, oh, jujitsu. because
Yeah, I
it's
did.
usually jujitsu thing.
The same thing with me. I've came with black eyes from sparring, dude.
Yeah.
Says
I
it's
came
from
with a
his
broken
girlfriend
nose.
usually.
Huh? No.
David says from.
But
his girlfriend
my
usually.
my higher up my higher management, bro. Like he was like, "Oh, you got beat up again?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sparring." Because that everybody knows. Like when they give you when you throw your resume, they ask you what's your hobby. And that's my fucking hobby. You know,
Yeah.
like just boxing, martial arts and
You know
shit.
what our hobby is? Our hobby's drinking.
Yeah.
It is now.
So let's throw it back again. We're gonna throw it back in time.
Yeah.
What's your first memory of drinking? With your, I don't know with who it was. Like, what do you recall? What was the scenario? Set us up in like with what friends were there. Was it a party? Was this in a garage? How did it go down?
It was. I think I was 13.
13. Damn, that's pretty young.
Damn. White
That's
Wolf
pretty
Vodka?
young.
Like your brother? White Wolf?
No, we actually got.
I had White
It
Wolf.
was his
That shit
first
was
time
gross.
drinking?
That was my fifth grade
Miguel's the
drink.
shit too. on
I
that
started
one.
drinking the same weekend Miguel did, but like we weren't together. He just like, oh, he went camping or some shit, and then he was like, he got drunk then. But I was hanging out with like some people from my from elementary. Oh, I guess we don't have middle school in Manteca. I met. It's
Yes.
like it's kindergarten
eighth
through
grade.
8th, but it's like the people that you meet in like 7th and 8th grade, and they got like a few tall boys, and I was just drinking 2 tall boys, and I was like,
Do you remember what they
spinning.
were or no?
Bud Light.
Ooh.
Yeah, so and I was like, I remember I drank them. I took a nap. I was feeling like dizzy, and yeah, then kind of became a regular thing, like a weekend thing.
When did you start to like? Because I would say for the most part in high school, and I don't know about your college years, but in high school definitely we kind of just drank whatever the fuck was there.
Oh yeah.
And when did you start to kind of like get an acquired taste for beer? Like, okay, I kind of like IPAs, I kind of like stouts, I kind of like, or is it not even at that point? You're just like, still give me whatever the fuck is on the table.
No, that's based on income straight up. Cause like when we're in
Yeah,
college,
you're right.
we're like,
You're right.
Rolling Rock. We can get a fucking 30-pack for $15.
Dude,
You're
I
100% right.
I remember.
And then
drinking
when
Rolling Rock.
you can afford to buy better tasting stuff,
Mhm.
then it's like okay. If I had that choice, when I was in college, I'd probably do it too, but it just wasn't an option,
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
definitely, I know what you mean, man. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I would definitely say, yeah, once we got a little bit of spare change in our pockets, we were able to go out and
Yeah.
splurge on different shit.
Yeah,
As opposed to like a
Budweiser.
$15 30-pack of Budweiser.
All right, I remember that was like our go-to was like
Budweiser.
Budweiser, and then the first time I had a 30-pack of Rolling Rock was
fuck.
over in Fresno State,
Mhm.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I totally understood why. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
These are
college kids. These
kids.
kids, they're budget,
yeah.
and like we had jobs. We didn't go to school. You know, we were. I was still living at my parents' house, so
Mhm.
fuck it. I was just buying actually. I mean, it wasn't the best beer, but it was
Look at you
Slinging
drunk.
that dick
strong.
everywhere.
Yeah, and then when I started getting a better job, well-paid job, then I got Modelo, and then now that I'm in my career, I just fuck that. I can't even drink Modelo. I'll have a
I was drinking
craft
Modelo
beer.
all day today.
Modelo's
with
good.
my dad.
I'll do it, but I just got tired of it, dude.
Mm.
How do y'all feel about that? Like Have y'all tried to like show your parents and the older generation like different types of beers? Because I do feel like they're settled on just the stuff that was from their youth, like the classic Mexican beers, Modelos.
Yeah.
I don't
not
have
even.
I don't have that struggle with my
Your
pop.
dad would be Bohemias.
Well, I don't really have that
And,
struggle with them.
Is he willing to taste?
He's
other
taste
random-
of yeah, he do.
He,
He's
he fucks with other shit.
fucking drink that fucking stout that I brought, the nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't.
Para el
He,
almuerzo? Okay.
he knows his fucking expensive beers, so I don't know. My dad, I don't have a struggle with my dad. I don't really have a struggle showing him new craft beer, just because he just wants to prove a point that he's the shit. I guess I don't know.
Macho.
Yeah, right now he's probably out there talking to Cindy about politics, corridos, and how awesome you are as an engineer.
Not an engineer, a surveyor.
Survey.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, I've been wanting to understand. Like,
That
are
was
you
my-
are you a civil engineer or you're a
No.
No,
That was one of my questions right
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Actually,
sorry.
is surveying sexy?
survey? But what is survey?
that's a
What do you?
hard-hitting
What?
question.
I explain to me. What is a survey? Like, what do you survey? Are you just?
Because most people would think a survey is like, hey, what's your favorite color? Hey,
Yeah.
what's your favorite this?
Yeah.
Kinda like a survey you would do online as opposed to like surveying land.
Land.
Yeah.
So what
which
do you
is
do?
way different.
Yeah, so for just to clarify, like the name, it's like kind of what it's used here in the United States, land surveying, but it's got other titles like internationally, like geomatics and geomatics engineering.
Oh, that's cool. I like
And
that. It has.
then-
It
I
sounds,
like
sounds a
that.
little jazzy.
Yeah, 'cause that's what
Sophisticated.
that's what my
Yeah.
degree is in. It's in geomatics.
Hey.
But like if you go to Mexico, if you look at like what you call them, because like I saw this dude when I was in Puerto Vallarta, and I was like, hey, like, ¿cómo se llama esto? Este jale, and he's like, ingeniero topógrafo. So it's like it's a topographic.
Yeah,
engineer.
topographic.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay. So but it's depends on what nation I guess you're in, but land surveying, yeah, it's we pretty much we're good at measuring,
That's what she
and we're good at you know, like if you ever see a tripod on like the side of the road or
That's what she said.
like Caltrans or something.
Yeah.
They're measuring. They're making some type of measurements to either for building, so kind of like control the quality of like the way that they build something, like a road or a bridge or
Yeah.
houses, or they're mapping. So they're out there taking a bunch of measurements, so we can make really precise maps. So the engineers, like we make the maps, we tell them what's there. The engineers figure out how they're gonna grade or whatever, how they're gonna move dirt around to make something possible, or where they're gonna put the road, you know. And our main thing is map what's physically there, like
To the measurement.
so
for-
they know, like, oh, okay, well, we can't really put the road here. There's a fucking telephone pole, or there's something, whatever, you know, or the property line. Like, oh, we're gonna have to pay this if we do put the road here. We're gonna have to buy this much of this adjacent property owner's land, and everything's gonna. They gotta like trying to.
So when you're
figure
measuring
out.
the land, does altitude, depth of land, all that go into factor? Like, are you able to tell how deep that land is, or
No.
what
we
are
don't-
some of the
we don't
factors
do
that go into play?
That's geotechnical. Like if you're saying like
Mhm.
below the surface, as far as
Mhm.
like, there's
So I
Longitude
would
and
assume when you're
longitude, right?
building
No,
something,
no,
you kind of.
coordinates.
No, that's that's basic. Yeah. No, no.
Coordinates.
Yeah.
Coordinates. Okay.
Yeah, that's what like that's our field. But like I was saying, like boreholes,
Mm-hmm.
for let's say they want to see if they can build in an empty lot. But
Yeah.
like,
Like,
oh
say it'd be a building, you need to go certain depth
yeah,
down
they'll
also.
drill-
So so that's not your duty as far as to
No.
know how deep. You're not measuring how deep a earth.
they get a sample
core,
of like
mhm.
a fucking tube you put
Mhm.
down in the earth like 30 feet. They pull it out,
Mhm.
and you're like, okay, this is the type of soil and all these things. And then they're like, oh, they can evaluate like, hey, is something gonna sink here? Is this good place to put a building?
Mhm.
That's all kind of
But
like
that's
quality
not
control.
that's not what you do.
That's not what I do.
Okay.
We do the measurement. We'll
Mm-hmm.
measure where those holes are and whatnot. And it's like,
Yeah.
That's
but
like my field.
yeah, we measure, we map.
Yeah.
You know, we like I'll show you some maps, man. But it's like it's all like exactly what's out there.
For example, you want to build a building or a city, or or maybe not a city but a building, and you got Mount Diablo. Is that something you're like, well, Mondongo is this height, and we need to take it down, and this is that what you actually do, just to make it simple?
To make it simple, there's a dirt lot there.
Uh-huh.
What's it called? We'll measure the boundary to see where
Uh-huh.
you can put it based off setbacks or whatever. It's just we're mapping things that are there and things that aren't necessarily on the ground, like setback lines or property lines.
So you give them, like, not a blueprint, but this is what's there, and this is what you have to build around it, or what you're going to do to take it out.
give them
right?
the parameters.
Yeah, the parameters,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. That's,
And then they'll the engineers would decide what how they approach that.
okay.
Like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe this isn't a good spot to put.
Mhm.
It's going to cost us more work or whatever.
That's all that boring.
That would,
shit.
that
Yeah.
So
will-
now let's get to some exciting conversation.
yeah.
that was it. To me, that shit was I mean, it's interesting to me just because in the field that I work in, but I don't
So,
really deal with.
One of the common questions we've been asking all of our guests and everything is, what are 3 things that they value more than sex? So this could vary on everyone because this kind of tells you
Way
what
this
you
way.
really value
Yeah.
as far as like
Sex.
what you truly value. Because I mean, sex is something that we all just innately do.
That's just an
something that
animal
happens.
instinct thing that we
Yeah,
all
it's an
like.
animal instinct that we have. It's something that we have to kind of do and stuff. But what are 3 things that you value more than that? Because to value something that we inherently do is something that truly means something to you. Understand? So yeah, what are 3 things that you value more than sex?
I think family time, like
Family time?
just hanging
Mhm.
out with
Yeah.
the pops, my mom. What's it called? Miguel's. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. We're hanging out earlier today.
That's 24 hours hang out though.
Yeah.
Oh, is he here today?
Yeah.
Damn, what what is wrong with your brother? Like, hey, I'm in town.
He keeps it low.
You got
key.
me, bro.
Mhm.
Like, I just don't get what he gets in his head. Like, I knew he was in town. The only reason was because Vic's like, I got shrooms. I don't know who's down to do it. And then
Miguel
your
was like,
brother
"Dude."
was like, oh, I'm down right now.
Snitching.
I'm not snitching, but I'm
Nah.
just saying, I was like, is this motherfucker in town? He just fucks around like he always does. But
But-
It's my dad's birthday. He's probably just we were kicking it with him like earlier today.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't know how far or
damn, we could have brought both of y'all.
Yeah.
And you
I-
didn't even let him finish though.
I know. So
Sorry,
number
sorry.
2,
One of them is family time.
okay, traveling, like going to
Traveling.
new places and just like kind of experiencing
Right.
the
Let's-
cultures of whatever.
Let's go ahead and take a little drift off as before we mention number 3. So traveling, what since you do that is something that you value. What are some of the places that you've gone to?
Well, it's like we've just been a few places in Mexico. So
Mhm.
like we'd go to,
That ain't the only place you've been.
yeah, or in Colombia. But it's cool just like going to these places.
Mhm.
Like in Colombia, we went to Cartagena,
Mhm.
Medellin, and Bogota.
Hey.
And in Mexico, we've gone to like Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico City, and like
Those are the big spots. How is Mexico City? Is it really as dense and populated as people say
It
it
fucking
is?
dense,
and
bro.
dense,
it's
bro.
like you're like goddamn sardines on the
Yeah.
on the metro.
You're like this, bro.
Yeah, and it's honestly like it's we're pretty lucky. All my first cousins, like my dad was the only one that came here. Like all his brothers and sisters
Mhm.
stayed in Mexico, but like we're all around the same. Like all their kids, all my cousins were all the same age. So like whatever, we're all drinking age, So it's
It's crazy because my first time meeting your cousin, like,
Uh-huh.
well, I guess they're
Oh,
my
Safi
technical
and, like,
Safido,
Maroli,
Malroy, right? Or
Maroli?
Maroli. She's an amazing tattoo artist. Shout
Yeah.
out to her, bro. She is really, really good and talented,
I need some tabs.
bro. I like legit. When you go, I'm gonna go because I really personally want to get
Get a
tatted
tat.
by her legitly. Like if I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna get a whole arm sleeve just by her.
Yeah,
Dude,
as soon as
she
this shit's
is-
done, dude.
Actually, I'll show you. Actually, I'm gonna show you a little thing from her if I find her.
Out
I'm
of
gonna
all
find-
these little places that you've gone to, what has been your favorite experience? Like, do you have a favorite experience in one of these cities?
Well, in Mexico, it's obviously Mexico City. Fucking just because, it's like you go in there and like you don't speak English at all day. Like when me, Cindy, and my dad went, and we're just with our family, and like we're going to getting all this bomb ass food, checking out all these the best sites in Mexico City, and you're just really engulfed into like this culture for however long you're there, and for Colombia, probably Medellin. Medellin
Do you
was.
remember her Instagram name? It's M.A., right?
It's Maro.
She has a crocodile as a
That's
pet.
MAROLYYY.
M.A.
MA, yeah.
So
R?
Medellin was your favorite over in
Yeah, Medellin. There's like this little town. Like if you go to Medellin, whatever the whole Pablo
Oh,
Escobar
yeah.
culture thing that definitely
Heavy.
exists there. It's,
Yeah.
and like the graffiti there is awesome.
Mhm.
But then like you go on a tour,
Here, spell it out
probably
for
like an hour outside of Medellin, and it's this place called what's it called? Guatapé.
Was it more so in the jungle or?
Yeah, it's fucking
in the
a
cuts.
bus right away, but
Mhm.
it's you pretty much go hiking, or not hiking. It's like a bunch of steps, like 750 steps. You go to the top. You're at the center of like this lake that's, they dammed up this river, so it became a huge lake. But it's just awesome scenery, and it's Colombia. The people were very nice.
It's a rainforest out there. Pretty
Yeah.
much. That's what it feels like. Yeah, like you out there, you just see these big old trees.
It's
humid
hella high up
weather,
there, dude. Like,
and,
Is it humid out there?
humid as
Yeah.
fuck?
Like really bad. Like
well, Bogota, no. Medellin, a little bit. It's because it's not just like in like jungle area. It's also the elevation's really high. I think like it's higher than Denver for sure.
what?
Yeah.
Was
so,
it really?
uh,
I didn't notice it. I noticed that it was.
Cartagena's right at the beach. That's
You guys didn't go to
that's a
Cali?
sea
You guys
level.
didn't go to- You guys didn't go to Cali? Cali?
No. I wanted to travel a little bit more when I was down there and stuff.
Because
But
isn't
yeah, we
Cali
just
like
overwent,
another big
so-
ass city for
Yeah.
Colombia?
Mhm.
Yeah, there's like
It is.
4 really big ones,
Mhm.
and that's definitely one of them. And we contemplated going there, but it was like,
Why was that? Just because?
Well, we wanted to knock out as much as we can, but it's like fuck that, man. It's gonna. I'd
can't
rather
really-
stay a few, like 2-3 days in each city, than go like one day here and then a day in the airport, one day here, fucking, and then
yeah.
you just don't get to experience it like as
You get
much.
tired as fuck too from flying.
Yeah, that shit's not cool.
How is
But-
the food
So-
out there?
I'm gonna say, bro, not as good as Mexican food.
It's
I
not.
was.
Nah.
I had this fucking. They have
Puro pinche
arepas and
plátano.
shit. Yeah. Oh,
Plátano,
what is it? Bandeja paisa. It's like that was a fucking good meal.
What
it's
is
like-
it?
and
like
the beans, are even
beans.
sweet and stuff too.
Yeah,
from
like-
what I noticed, I feel
Mhm.
like they have like sweeter beans.
They use a lot more salt too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was not that great.
No, bro.
Mexican food
If
is
you
definitely
if you want to be
so far.
completely honest,
Mhm.
you go to Mexico City for the food.
Oh yeah,
you'll-
I've been to
it's
Mexico
worth it.
City.
It's
Fucking the bomb.
the best.
What is the
dude.
other one they have? Damn, and they have these tacos, bro. They mix it with the cheese too, and they're. I seen Milton make them too.
Gorditas?
Gordita, I think they're
No.
gordita. Yeah, I think they are gorditas.
Yeah. Yeah, we have family members. They got their fucking little stand.
So,
They
so we're
sell
still
those.
on
Yeah.
number 2 as far as when it
Oh,
comes
yeah,
to
yeah.
traveling and everything.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna keep it here still. All right, since now with this COVID bullshit and everything, we're not able to travel or we shouldn't, I guess, quote unquote, travel is as much now. How has this been an adjustment for you since this is number 2 on your list on things that you value a lot, and it's fucking
I'm
you
fucking
can't do it this year.
Pissed, bro.
You can't plan a 1 or 2 year vacation
Bro,
this year. You can't.
I've been planning
Yeah.
for fucking
Yeah.
fucking go to Europe this fucking summer. And I'm like,
He
I'm-
seems so disappointed right now.
I've been saving
dog.
up for 2 years for this
Uh-huh.
shit, and then I'm like, took it away from me.
Where were you going?
We're gonna go to London. Then we're gonna go to Venice, and then Santorini, then Rome.
You definitely don't want to go to Venice now.
Nah, fuck it. I'm not scared of that shit.
You,
Then Barcelona and Madrid. So we're gonna fucking be
you
out
hitting
there
the
for
big
like
spots,
yeah, we're gonna be out there for 16 days. So it's like we're gonna,
16?
yeah, we're gonna
Damn, that's pretty good days. No,
What?
yeah, cause like I was planning a trip after the baby was born, but I wanted to go
Why,
to.
right after the
All right, I did like a couple of months, cause she wanted to get out, cause her mom said it was cool with it. We already spoke to her, but I wanted to go to fucking Belgium, dude. I heard Belgium Belgium is a gorgeous area in Europe. Like I heard Belgium is
since the
tight.
wall fell.
Well, that's what a lot of my coworkers go to Europe.
think,
I gotta-
thinking of Berlin.
Actually, yeah, dude, what the fuck? Dude, that's Germany, you moron.
They got walls.
Oh, Belgium's good. I don't know. If, everybody tells me that Belgium is like one of these states, like, and a lot of my coworkers have gone and traveled there. And then there's this guy from He's married. He married some lady from Ireland, so they go every year. And he always tells me Ireland's number one.
Has he ever ate her ass?
No, I don't. Why would you're an idiot. I'm about to edit this part now. And then you're a jackass. And then seriously, he's a cool dude. But he was like, oh my god, I can't even speak. I love the call, dude. Stop coming up with those little side busts, dude. Like God. So anyway, God, you're an idiot. You're a joke. Watch story so time. Alright, I know, but it gets me off topic. So he was like, they go to Ireland every time. They go to Europe a lot. So every year they go to Ireland. So they stay for 2 weeks. And I was asking, what is the best European country? He goes, Belgium. And then I was like, oh, okay. So then I hear from another guy, Belgium. And another guy, Belgium. Like my whole office, like Belgium is the shit. And it told me it's such a gorgeous landscape. The people are nice. The food is delicious. And they told me legit try some Belgian waffles. So
Oh yeah,
that's what they're really known for. So,
can't say I know much about Belgium.
but I heard it's. And then he told me if I go to Ireland, to go to the Guinness factory.
Yeah.
And he said that is the best tour. He goes, try beer warm.
Oh yeah, there's no fucking cold beer there.
I remember Julio told me he drank it a lot of times because he's been in Europe
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. He said, dude, that fool would drink a lot of Guinness, which I don't think I could drink a Guinness warm because I will actually.
It tastes like coffee.
It tastes like coffee, but I'd rather have it cold.
I can't get drunk off of stouts.
No,
it's a dessert beer for me. Like I love stouts. Like I like personally that taste and everything, but it's not a beer I could drink fucking like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's definitely like you can't. I wouldn't want to get drunk off a stout. It's more so just a dessert beer for me. It's just like I like that flavor. I like that coffee taste. For me, it's a preference, but I wouldn't drink a lot of them. Like if I never want to be drinking all day, I'll definitely pick anything over that.
Yeah.
But if I'm just gonna have one beer, it would probably be a stout.
Yeah.
I gave Cindy a stout.
Oh yeah.
It's a milk stout. I just had a fat craving for some stouts recently, so I got one, but it had to be ice cold, dude. I had to put the cup in the freezer and then pull it out, and
So
very delicious.
did you plan any other trips, or was this Europe one pretty much the big one that you had planned?
Well, based off of like our allowed vacation per year, whatever, this was the big one for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like usually we do like we usually try to go to Mexico for one week, you know. But this one was like, all right, I'm putting all my fucking vacation days on this one.
On the Mexico trip and stuff, or
No, on the
oh, for the Europe trip.
But now that it's pushed back, like we pretty much got an email from the flight company saying, hey, you got credit.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, is your airline company nice enough to refund you, or are they giving
There's
you
no refund.
Yeah, there's none. They're crediting you.
Crediting, which
Yeah.
is fine. I'll push it back.
I-
I don't want to pay for that again.
I actually had a flight. It was last week, dude. I was supposed to go last weekend to LA. I don't know if you've seen this this thing that was announced right before this COVID bullshit. It was called Netflix is a joke, and it was supposed to be like at a whole bunch of different venues in LA, a bunch of different comedians, and so I had purchased some to the Hollywood Bowl to see Dave Chappelle specifically, and that was supposed to be last week, and yeah, so yeah, I had my flight to LA booked. I had the flight, the hotel, all that shit. The hotel was nice enough to refund me, even though when I had booked it initially, it wasn't a refundable trip. But they were understanding and everything, and Priceline was nice enough to
thank
refund
God.
me the whole my money for the hotel.
Yeah.
And then my flights, though, yeah, they were only able to give me a credit, and then you have 12 months to use it, and so right now, yeah, I still have some credit. I don't know, man. Like I want to plan something still like within this time, but I don't know where. I was kind of thinking Hawaii, but Hawaii does have a fucking lockdown right now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
even though they don't have that many cases of COVID and everything, like, they're literally making their fucking guests stay in hotels at this time and not fucking go out during this time at all, dude. So, that was one that I was thinking of booking because they have... My girlfriend, one of her concerns is, like, how many people are infected and the deaths and all this bullshit and everything. And since we have this credit, we kind of want to plan a vacation. and one of our suggestions was Hawaii, but seeing how restricted everything is, if we were to go over there, we were kind of not, we're still up in the air about it at this time.
Yeah.
I mean, why do people are so focused? I don't know, probably gone off subject, but
Mhm.
so focused about the deaths and how many are infected. Like, I think the only way we're gonna eradicate this fucking virus is by herd immunity. Like,
I
you know
don't
what I'm
know,
saying?
man.
Like, I don't know. Just if you like, you're not worried about it because obviously you take care of yourself, your health.
We're not worried about it because nobody close to us has
Well,
been affected by it.
yeah.
But our like I'm confident on my immune system. Like,
Yeah.
I take my vitamins, you know what I'm saying, and I actually listen to Joe Rogan podcast, and
Oh yeah.
and people lack vitamin D.
That's
And it's
what
like
she said.
26% of that vitamin D,
That's what she said.
which is pretty sad because I take vitamin at the moment I turn 30, bro. I'm fucking popping vitamins,
Popping that D.
multivitamins and
Yeah,
shit
but-
like that.
Or you could just go outside.
You go. I mean, that's a good reason. Another reason, but I mean, it's kind of hard, you know. As you know, like you don't have the time to always go outside. You
Yeah.
know? So
So-
I try to eat. I try to eat healthy, like you know.
Mhm.
I weigh my meat and stuff like that. So and I stay active, you know. So started boxing more and running 3 miles a day. So
Damn, that's what's up.
brutal as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I did a 23-mile bike ride.
that's fucking dope.
Yeah, so like I'm tired of getting flat tires and changing them out.
Oh.
So it's just I run for 4 miles or 3
Yeah.
and sprint. So
Yeah.
So-
but I just been always very active.
Have you planned on booking another trip with your vacation little fund that you have now, as far as with the credit that you have available? Has it been a discussion with you and your girlfriend?
Yeah, we're just gonna postpone it.
You're just
Sure,
gonna
yeah.
postpone
Maybe next
it,
spring.
Let's go to
Yeah.
Canada.
Is your airline also giving you about a year to use it, or are they giving you a little bit longer
Yeah, until the
time?
end of 21. So
Oh,
it's
so
like,
you got a nice amount of time.
Yeah.
Mine's is just they gave me a year,
Mhm.
so I have until March 2021 to use my credit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's like we're
kinda
thinking-
pressured.
might as well, man. It's a bummer, but
Mhm.
it would give us more time. Like maybe we'll have like a small trip to Mexico.
Mhm.
That I've been wanting to go back to Mexico City, and we'll probably go there for like a week or something, and then by
Especially with the peso that it is right now.
24.
24 a dollar? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
24 pesos to a dollar?
Bro,
What?
I
I
swear.
wish I had that shit when I was at the bachelor party.
Wait.
I was like,
Change your money till you out there.
yeah, I might have to move.
A fucking rookie mistake doing it
Dude.
at the airport.
Yeah.
Man, I'll talk to you about offline, dude. I forgot to hit you up about something actually.
Oh.
You'd be a good reference.
Mhm.
But damn, I didn't know it was like that. 24 to a
Yeah, no, the
24
peso right
pesos
now
to
is
a dollar,
killing
dude.
it.
Yeah.
Fuck. Why
feel
is that? Is that? Do you guys know, or is it because of the
It
COVID?
depends on our economy.
Yeah,
also,
100%.
I feel like since our economy's failing, theirs is going down. Also, because they're not able to import export as much as they're accustomed to, and it's affecting the whole world's economy. But luckily and thankfully, we have a dollar that holds a strong enough value to sustain this type of global pandemic.
Yeah.
And the peso, it just isn't like they're gonna be a company that I definitely see for in the future. Now that this Corona bullshit happened and people aren't gonna want to manufacture in China, they're definitely, I said, like Mexico would want to be one of the countries that would want to be out there trying to vouch for their countries to try to take on some of those industrial
Yeah, that'd be
Well,
great, man.
manufacturing.
What about that mine that they found full of lithium? You think that's gonna boost up the economy for Mexico?
Is that
because-
why your dad want to invest in lithium?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, and that is the reason why
Fuck.
a
man,
lot
but the
of those.
thing
Remember?
is-
Do you remember those Mormons that got killed? Like by almost. I think
Yeah,
they-
yeah, I remember.
Well, those cartels were from when I was reading an article. They were
Mexican Mormons?
the Mexican Mormons. They were killed because
The
their
Mitt
little
Romneys.
colony was in front of by the little mine,
The Mitt Romneys.
and they were trying to get to that.
yeah. Well, the goddamn Chinese are gonna buy.
Yeah, and the Chinese are invested.
swear
No,
to
that's
God,
true.
yeah.
The Chinese are invested that shit.
Mhm.
That's why my dad was trying to get into that, which is smart. But I mean, it's
But China's investing in India right now, and India is, with their billion plus people and everything, are able to manufacture things at a cheaper rate also. So
Yeah.
So the bigger the population, the cheaper for
the cheaper the labor, obviously,
is.
yeah, because you're trying to sustain a country's economy, and the more people in that economy, you need to have more people working. And
Totally
even if it is at a minimum wage, at a very minimum wage labor rate, you still need to be able to bring in an income for yourself.
That's totally understandable why people don't like people coming to this country, right? Is that another reason, or is it just racism?
Nah.
No. It's definitely
Because our country, imagine having that population amount in this country. How would that affect our economy? I'm gonna go for
having triple the people,
triple the people.
the way China has it.
China is. How would that affect our country?
You're
as an
working at a
econo-
so you're thinking triple the people, you're thinking triple the competition, so you're thinking of triple the people that are willing to work at that much cheaper of a rate than you. So you talk down your value. When you have more people, they're like if you have less people, like if it's just me and you,
Mhm.
and you want fucking $50,000 for whatever you're asking for, I can go right behind you and be like, I only want 40,000. If
Mm.
there's a third person that's like, I'll take 30,000, and it just keeps going down and down and down and down and down and down until you're kind of lowering the value of yourself because there's not enough work to go
So,
around.
is that what you think? What's going on with illegal immigrants? Because they're willing to work
Yeah.
at a cheaper labor.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely what needs to be done. Yeah, that's
is that
why.
is that something that's considerate? Because like
Mhm.
I wanted to totally understand this because I mean
That's exactly.
I don't
what
want to
happens.
come off like I'm racist, but now that I'm a lot of it, with, I just don't want to come out racist. Towards my own kind, but is that another reason why people don't want people from another country coming over taking jobs that are they do them cheaper?
Inherently, as humans, we just want to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
who
if it
the
takes
fuck-
to work-
Okay, unemployment's so goddamn high right now.
It's
Well,
fucking
obvious because of the
ridiculous.
COVID, though, right?
Ridiculous.
No one applying for those jobs in the fields.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But are you? Yeah.
Okay. And that's one thing I want to ask you too is about like how do you feel that that people that are unemployment at this time don't necessarily have any incentive to try to actually go and find a job because of how much benefits they're getting from this COVID thing. They're making, I would say, essentially $1,000 a week on
4,000
just
for if you back pay with
yeah.
4
Well,
months.
that's a month. Yeah, so you're they're essentially making this much. So you're making more to not work than to for people that are having to work actually to continue this economy, continue this motor of USA, continue to working while there's this other half. So what is it? 3 million people at this time that are unemployed, that are reaping the benefits of it at this time.
I gotta say for that, it's like I was watching this talk of like some dude from my profession, and he was saying like, well, he didn't say this is what I think is regarding that like if those
Beer.
people if they just want to, sit back not do shit, that's fine, whatever. But you're probably gonna feel it, and once everything goes back to normal, because I think
Will we go back to normal?
well.
What's
Let's
the
say
new norm?
let's just say we go back to a shitty economy where it's gonna be harder to get a job and whatnot. And it's like, okay, for all those people who are just sitting down watching TV, whatever, it's like, fine, you made your decision, but once you enter the job market and it's gonna be a little bit more competition, like just be okay with what you get. 'Cause, like you should be investing in yourself right now. It's like if you don't got shit, don't be watching Netflix all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Go, I
Start
don't
a
know,
hobby?
take a class.
Start a
Just stay-
podcast.
Yeah, if I can learn something, man. Yeah, exactly.
Just threw it out there. Start a podcast, which I am learning some new set of skills.
Yeah,
actually,
exactly,
legit.
man.
I'm learning how to edit. Actually,
I need another beer.
another beer. I got you.
Yeah,
Before I go
can
get you a beer,
Give
want
me one of these ones.
I got you.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm learning a new set of skill is like editing these videos and actually all the electronic and the sound effects and actually being like a sound engineer type of thing, but not clearly to that level because this is basic shit.
You're better than what you were before.
Before.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And
Yeah.
another thing I just did, so this was probably gonna make clown on me, but I have an app, and I'm getting radio frequencies from a satellite through SETI. So I downloaded an app, and I'm a member. So this shit goes on screensaver. I'll connect my battery, leave my laptop, especially when I'm editing videos and processing.
Yeah.
Especially when I can't certain things that's getting downloaded and saved up, and it takes a while because of the memory. and the screensaver goes, and I can hear the sounds of fucking space and shit like that.
But yet he doesn't want to put us on Pornhub.
No, I don't want to put you on Pornhub. But I'm getting sounds from Earth to see if I catch radio waves from another intelligent life, if they're sending shit.
I mean,
It's my random hobby that I do. It's just a hobby.
And
It's
David doesn't even smoke weed anymore.
I don't.
well, like,
I had Aiden over here. He was thinking that I'm talking about classified fucking conversations. No, this is some shit you could download if you have a laptop. So I saved it, and all you hear, legit, my screen turns black, and then all you hear is like sequences from space. And like if I hear like a communication, I just send a little email towards the institute out there in Mountain View, over in San Jose.
yeah,
And then they will determine if it's fake or not.
that's fucking random.
It's random, but it's something that I like. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah,
I think I'm educated enough to determine, fuck, this is not, this is a hoax, and this is what if I think it is.
But he
Yeah.
doesn't put us on Pornhub.
No, I'm not gonna put you on porn. But I know I got off topic. But it's a certain skill that I like.
I was like, it's not. I can't comment on it because I don't really know much about it. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I was just saying that like it's just a thing that I've learned to do.
Yeah.
So-
I read more.
Well, fuck. I mean, yeah. It's you're kind of. It's still adding to whatever. You're still
Yeah.
expanding your mind. You know,
Did you pick up books? Did you pick a book?
dude. I was gonna go to my third one. I fucking.
That's what number 3 was. I was waiting. So what has been number 3? Here we go, number 3. History.
It's my shit.
Yeah.
That's my
I've
favorite
been
subject.
just because like I'm
Okay.
really into like
Can you answer a history question I have?
sure.
All right, so my history question is, it was asked on episode 1, or was it .5 of the Chris and David podcast, of if we started this nation and we brought over slaves, Christopher Columbus was the first one to discover this country, and there was Native Americans here.
Yeah.
It was brought
Why
up.
didn't the
It was
Native
brought up on
Americans-
Alejandro's.
Why didn't the Native Americans become slaves? Why logistically, why did we have to go and enslave another country and bring them over here? Why not enslave the people that are already here?
I remember when I listened to it, I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it, it's this.
Why?
The fucking smallpox killed 90%.
That's
So that's what it is.
I was right.
So,
there to fill these things.
so we killed them. So you feel like if they would have
We
been able
killed 'em? I mean,
to,
the Europeans killed them.
I mean, fuck, man. I don't. Who knows if you would have been able to enslave? Like they're fucking tough bastards, you know. Like
Mhm.
they're.
They were smart. They knew the
yeah.
territory.
Yeah, they're you weren't gonna get it easily. They're not gonna surrender. They'll kind of like with the Aztecs or like.
Well, the
even
Aztecs
Native
were easy.
Americans.
The Aztecs were kind of easy because they believed they were gods. If you
Well-
correct me if I'm wrong
Yeah.
in this thing, because they thought
Until they didn't think
they
that.
think that until they're like, wow, what the fuck is
They're
these
like,
people are stealing our resources, because they were stealing them from gold, right?
Yeah.
And they interpreted a legend saying that the gods were gonna be tall.
They were tall.
And they were tall, because the average, I think, Aztec was
Aztecs
not.
were
I think it was like 4'11". Huh?
No, this podcast, they're like people who are short. They call them squeaks.
No. But I remember I took Mexican American history in college in Delta,
Yeah.
and they kind of broke it down. They
Yeah.
broke a legend and shit
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But originally, the Aztecs weren't even the ones that started the pyramids and
No, they found it.
Teotihuacan. They just came in and they were like, "Oh shit,
They're
we
like,
found these. Fuck it,
This would be a good spot for
yeah,
kids.
exactly,
It's like,
yeah."
it makes them look cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
It
they
wasn't.
built that. That
Was-
built, like in the time of the Mayans.
Mayans. Was it
No,
the
wasn't-
Toltecs?
I get lost with the names.
Because
There's
it was the
some weird-ass
Toltecs.
names.
The Toltecs had a fascination. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they had a fascination. Every woman that they depicted had to have big ass hips and a big butt and
you
a
feel
small
me?
waist.
That's gang.
Bruh. Some real shit, bro. And then they had their statues had big ass heads, like, a lot of them.
Mhm.
But it was crazy though, because like all the artifacts that they found depicting a woman back in the days that I think they were to them was the perfect woman was a little ass waist and some big ass hips. So,
Out of the Betty Bowie.
no. I can see why I love my thick women, boy. You know what I'm saying? I got some Toltec in me.
Fuck. Well, it's like I did do the 23andMe, and
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
You got the results.
my
I was
dude
there.
fucking just straight up 60% Native American from Mexico.
Miss
Oh,
American.
Yeah.
Aren't
so-
you mad at all these grants you could have had in college and now you can't?
Yeah, it's technically.
You're just like, fuck it. That's the easy way to get some money for free, huh? Just
Lord.
figure out my ancestry.
Shit, all the Wongos call. Oh damn.
They're playing poker, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, the one was calling?
Yeah.
Answer. Let's answer live on the pod.
All
Tell,
right.
tell him he's on the pod live.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, bro, you're on the podcast.
Hey, what's up? Oh, he can't hear me.
Shit,
anymore.
you still there, huh?
Yeah.
Where, what?
Bitch, I don't know how to play podcasts. Now that, tell them that I don't know how to play it.
Oh, you didn't know how to play poker.
we're playing poker?
When are you gonna come?
Well, probably pretty soon.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, I told these niggas like 10:30, so I don't know what you want to do. If you want to tell them another time, then tell them another time.
Don't be punking that. Don't get punked by that fool. Fuck him. He's about to he's grounded when he gets home.
Well,
David, tell David I can hear his little bitch.
We can hear you too, man. You
I
live.
can hear you too. You're live at the moment.
but all right, man. Well, we'll wrap this up, and I will head out there. I think we'll be probably.
We'll be done soon.
Yeah.
Right
Very
now.
soon.
Mhm.
Just tell that fool to shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Like.
All right, y'all. So, like you can hear, we're getting close to the end of this podcast.
We're getting
Marco has
forcefully
an
in.
appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're famous.
So,
dude.
is there anything else? We could pretty much talked about a lot. You know, we went back through the history. We started off with like how you guys started playing soccer from in the rancho over there with the cows and everything. And then as you guys got older into the high school years, when you started to drink more, and even
Yeah.
some of your college years and everything. We even got to your professional career as a
Oh,
surveyor
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to tell the people? Let them know about you. Any message you want to leave with everyone?
I can't think of anything, but
I know we've been
just
put on blast a little bit. So,
get through this Corona thing, man,
Yeah.
and hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, nobody we know, gets fucked up from it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's for
definitely. Man, thank you for actually taking this time and being another guest.
Sure.
on
Yeah,
the
man, we
podcast.
definitely appreciate
been
it.
fun.
I definitely appreciate you
Mhm.
actually taking. I know it's kind of hard nowadays with this bullshit ass Corona.
First
Yeah.
time, not last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, I hope I actually next time I'm gonna have a TV over here,
Oh,
and we're gonna have some UFC fight nights. and
Hell
just-
yeah!
Like, and we'll narrate the fights and shit legitly. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, we'll figure.
Boxing, MMA, boxing and MMA, bro. We could do this
Mhm.
shit. I love this.
Yeah, hell
We
yeah,
won't
man.
just do MMA fight companion. We'll do a boxing companion because
I
I'm
was
a-
like,
I'm an
"Ah,
act-
that's all I do, man."
but you're an
Yeah.
expert though. You like to see punches come. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it doesn't matter as long as we put our opinion. I'm not an expert at boxing. I know the sport because I do the sport.
Mhm.
But you gotta learn
Yeah,
from
yeah.
watching the sport. But MMA is one of those sports I've been watching since I was like 9, 10 years
Yeah.
old. So even 8, I think I remember if I can remember.
Mhm.
So
All right, Big Dave. So where we at? How many hours are we
yeah,
putting?
this is the actual longest podcast. It's a record breaking, but it was a fucking.
It was a record-breaking podcast,
It was
really.
a record breaking, yeah.
More than 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh no, it's at 2 hours.
Okay.
it's-
So it's another long one, y'all.
It's
Thank
a
y'all.
long way, but it's. I hope, yeah.
If y'all been out here listening to us for this long, we definitely appreciate it. Hopefully y'all ain't bored of shit. Hopefully we had a little bit of
It's not
conversation,
a-
spark
yeah.
your.
Hopefully, it ain't a
you-
snoozer.
Yep. Well, for sure, we definitely appreciate y'all listening to us. Like I said, thank you again, Marco, for coming on the podcast. We
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
appreciate it. You got any last words, David?
Nope, and have a blessed day. And
All right, y'all.
actually, we owe a sparring match.
Oh yeah.
We settled a sparring match.
Come get
years.
it.
Come get it. I got you.
New episode coming next week.
Next
All right,
week.
y'all. Check it out. We out.
Late.